Ooh, mocky pups. Hello and welcome to Season 2 of Not 40 Just Blank, a podcast where we continue to take you back in time through the years and discuss all the weird and wonderful events within it, which make it so memorable for us. Each episode will find us chatting through the events, TV, news, sports, film and music of a single year, as well as the odd, funny and personal stuff that we can remember. So come and join us on our latest journey as we plough through the noughties, right here on Not 40 Just Blank. I kissed a girl and I liked it. The taste of her cherry chapstick. It felt so wrong. It felt so right. Don't mean I'm in love tonight. Now, just like Katy Perry, we're also fully lubed up with chapstick, so there's absolutely no chance of any nasty blisters during this recording of Not 40 Just Blank. And on this episode, if you can believe it, listeners, we're taking a peek behind the curtain of 2008. So here, headlining the main stage, a huge double bill. Philly Rascal and Scouting for Dells. Good evening, chaps.
Love it.
How are we?
Yeah.
Are we well?
Yeah, well, really well. Mate.
Yeah,
Really
I'm
well.
excited.
I thought you was going with I've kissed the Dell. And I like,
Do you know what? I had that on the back, but I thought it's too you. It's too Dell heavy. It's too Dell heavy. I can't. I show you
and
equal love.
Was that this year, wasn't it? I think.
Exactly. That is why I literally chose it.
Don't give away your top one already.
Yeah. Little insight into what's coming up later in the show. So, 2008. You know the general score, chaps.
2008. We're there already.
2008.
2008, mate.
We need to know what was going on in the year. Dell.
You do.
This is it. Consider the baton passed, my friend.
We do. We'll get on to the years, but before we start the year, I just want to talk to you about...
This always worries me when he goes rogue.
Have you, Jimmy, recovered from your dancing lessons from last weekend? Well, not just your dancing lessons. We both had dancing lessons.
We both had dance lessons with a very friendly chap in a local boozer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went down to support a friend of the pod, James Neal, Peggy Sue's, didn't we?
Yeah.
Good night was had by all. And then we both got roped into some dancing with a strange camp young chap, which was thoroughly lovely.
I saw the photos.
Yeah. We looked
You
good.
looked very happy.
I've never been more happy. I was almost giddy, some might say. It was good.
Just getting a little soundtrack from Gazoo Gav.
It's delightful. It was a very strange evening, but
strange.
good fun.
Yeah, very drunk and just wanted to pull us up and dance with us.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, so
Get him on
to
the
answer
pod.
your
Did you
question,
get his number? Get him on the pod.
I haven't recovered because my heart is broken because I was left like Cinderella when at midnight he disappeared.
I just love the fact that he was like, I don't know if he did it with you, but he was telling me how to talk to girls, and I'm like, sort of like,
of all the people to tell me, you are not the guy.
I'm not. I'm married, and I'm not. I'm not the smoothest talker. But it's just the fact of he was telling me, taking me through like a dummy's guide to how.
Giving
and I was
you lessons,
like,
an
A to
idiot's
dance.
guide.
So I think he knew he was lost when he tried to teach me how to dance.
Yeah, he looked at us and our two left feet, and he just went, "Nah, it's
that
not
weren't
happening,
good, was it, mate?" But
good fun. Good fun. Good.
But
evening.
yes, but back to the year in question, 2008.
What a year!
What I was going to talk about was trip to Vegas. Do you remember the trip to Vegas?
I remember doing it.
Do you remember much about it?
Do you know what? It was a long time ago, but some of it's still very
Was
raw.
that 2009?
And some of it's very,
Okay, I'll give you a few things.
hazy.
Do you remember a certain security guards coming into our room with guns, ex-FBI officers?
It is America.
Everyone's got
That's not
guns.
unusual.
Even the grannies going shopping have got the guns, haven't they?
But basically, didn't they? They thought we'd smashed up. Was it the door or something? I can't remember. Was it part?
I don't remember this at all. No, this is totally. I might have been Snoozy Jimmy.
No, we didn't. It was broken before we got there. We didn't report it, but then all these like big heavies come in. We like,
yeah.
And the thing is, like, it didn't. We didn't start off well because I think I answered the door in a West Ham top, and like we looked like proper sort of like thugs.
Yeah,
but that was proper harsh, weren't they? But yeah. But Jimmy, you stood up to him. I think they thought we were was Ricky Hatton fans because he was fighting the week.
He was. You're absolutely right.
After, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So so I thought
an influx of English yobs.
Sort of
what
thing.
So
when you say Jim stood up to him, like, in what way?
He gave them.
I took them both down. Took them both down. Took their guns off them, disarmed them.
Disarmed them.
Russian haircut, and sent them on their way.
Took them out like Batman.
I really did. Yeah. Fortunately, I always take my utility belt everywhere I go, even on holiday.
That was that. But we had a fun
holiday.
time. We also had. Do you remember? We went to a certain gentleman's club. And we tried to palm off Mr. Simpson as an Australian actor. And we was his manager. So, which obviously...
Yeah, like Hugh Jackman.
A little bit, Huge bellend. It was...
Huge Simpson.
Yeah, huge Simpson. So pumped up on steroids. But, and the other thing, Jim, do you remember running off into a Ferrari museum?
Kind of. I remember you telling me about it.
So that was that. That was a ping to talk about the next thing, and a nice little rhyme as well.
Basically, Ferrari are monitoring all of our posts, so if we mention them, they ping us.
Yeah, we had a trip to Barcelona as well. Do you remember, boys? Like Oakley's Stag Do.
Yeah.
No, I didn't go.
Yeah,
it was my 30th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I didn't go to.
Oh, really, mate? I thought,
it was over there. Yeah.
I thought you went. Oh, okay. Sorry, mate. I misjudged you. There was a couple of
awkward one. He doesn't know that we've actually been to Barcelona as a group. Sorry.
Do you remember a few things happening?
I remember a couple of things. Obviously, once again, I got drunk, and I think I probably told her, "Leave me here. Go on without me."
Well, so one of our friends, I won't say names because it's quite horrific, but I'll tell the story. But is one of the stepdads said to his stepson,
possibly.
Basically, but he basically said he asked him, like the stepson asked his stepdad, "Why have you bought a Barcelona top?" Which he replied, to fuck your mum in.
I'm going to fuck your mum in it.
That always sticks with me.
It's a hell of a line, isn't it?
But
it's bought that shitty top to fuck you.
It was a weird trip when it was a stag do. Half of the people there were West Ham supporters, the other half were Millwall supporters.
Yeah, could have
gone.
You can imagine that.
Could have gone really weird. Abroad, but it didn't.
Where there's no rules.
We met this. Do you remember meeting Party Boy?
In one of the first bars we went to.
No, he was with us. He was with our group.
Excuse me, you mean that Party Boy?
He was called Party Boy. Yeah. It must have been ironic because he was the most boring fucking guy ever fucking
He was a real dullard, wasn't he?
But he ended up shitting himself.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that.
Hell of a
He wasn't that boring then, was he?
Well, I don't think it was through choice, but
we like to call him Sharty Party.
Well, he didn't, that's his party trick. He just shits himself, but not too good.
You come to a party? No, it's horrific.
And the other thing, do you remember being the lead singer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
What was that?
Do you remember that?
I don't.
No?
I mean, what you've done, you've probably made it weird, and I don't recall what you're talking about. But
basically, tell me. You fell asleep under a bridge.
Oh yes, that's what I was alluding to slightly earlier. Yeah,
and we tried to get you to leave, and you was happy.
Once I'm asleep, as we know, and by asleep, what we mean is almost unconscious.
Yeah, unconscious.
I can't be moved because I'm a dead weight.
Off the beat road in Barcelona.
Yeah, so I thought it was a good idea to have a snooze under, like some form of
find a paper skip.
Like I was an ogre or something. I'm just under a bridge waiting for Billy Goats to plop across it. And it was like, come on, Chip, you can't obviously leave you here. And then the obvious answer to a drunk man is, he's gone, I'll be all right.
Which did work well.
It really did, didn't it?
Weirdly enough, me and Gav got a cab home where some guy was like telling us how good he was at karate. It was
Whereas I woke up a few hours later and had a lovely breakfast in the Truckers Cafe.
Both had a good one. The only other one I remember, this is a personal one, going to a Mahiki nightclub. Have you heard of Mahiki nightclub?
Yeah, with the treasure chests. Cocktails and stuff, wasn't it? It was very expensive.
It was for Brownie's 30th. We went to Mayfair, so it's quite a plush sort of nightclub. I remember we get a booth and there's stuff like that. Birthday boy got a pint of JD.
Lovely, classy.
Obviously, he turned it down, and Nobby there decided to neck it. So,
Night ruined for that.
yeah, pretty much. Basically, I
Here's
got
where the memories end.
You've done it in one.
Yeah,
Like
I've
the
done it
Jack
in
D.
one, and I got a first class ticket to Yak City, mate. I like fucking. It was proper like grim. I yacked up. I remember it's because it's quite a well-to-do club.
Yeah.
I mean, and you have got different levels, obviously, because I think on the third floor, second floor, whatever, you've got like the celebs and stuff.
Yeah.
But I remember yakking absolutely everywhere, and I remember like I had to get some fresh air. I managed somehow not to get beaten up. But I don't know how.
Yeah.
What's going through
Exactly.
your head? I mean, you must have known
This is gonna end bad.
this is good night, pretty much.
Yeah.
No, just that fucking. Oh, look at I'm a fucking geezer. Or so, I don't know, some absolute horse shit.
Yeah.
But the best bit was just like coming up and like I had all yak down my fucking shirt and all stuff like.
Looking classy.
And then coming up the steps and like all the fucking
All the
paps are
paparazzi are outside, aren't they? Yeah. Waiting for some celebs to
looking
come
for
out.
like girls allowed and stuff.
Sadly, they had stills allowed.
Oh, now you'd be all over that. There'd be like podcaster.
Oh yeah, podcaster.
Podcaster extraordinaire.
Yeah, boy, here comes
Seen
the-
in absolute mess.
Here comes the walking omelette. Come on. It was like
Yeah,
proper, mate.
a
Yeah,
lumpy
so
shirt.
I always remember that. Yeah, just their faces, and it's just it's fucking
Yeah,
some
it's
drunk knobby.
already,
Yeah.
and then back lads.
No.
It turns out it's some lunatic
But
who's
just-
obviously hacked a pint of
But
Jack
literally,
D.
they just literally take pictures of whoever
Anyone,
comes out
yeah.
just so they'll get
Just
them
in case,
pictures.
yeah.
Fucking hell, but yeah, that's all my memories.
Ah.
And there you go.
Anything from you personally, Phil? Nah, I don't remember nothing, mate. Didn't go to Barcelona.
No, well, just remembered it's my 30th. That was it. That just came
Yeah,
back.
we
so I
all
remember
What did you do, Phil?
I've had a party. I did have a party. Yeah.
Oh really? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't come. I remember.
Yeah, we weren't there.
Yeah, exactly.
And I remember-
It's like I can invite all my
invi-
friends.
We weren't invited, so we went to Barcelona
Yes.
instead.
I remember we was playing for Ramblers that year, and we won the league. That you wasn't there. Last game of the season. That was that weekend as well.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Did you get an open top bus?
Yeah. You missed that. On a treat.
Full parade through Leon Sea.
Really
Of
on sea.
Yeah, that was that weekend as well. I remember that.
course, because
Yeah,
obviously it was all
nice.
about 30s, wasn't it?
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
All about 30s in 2008.
Yeah, that was
Got very grown up very quickly because I remember. Well, my first kid a couple of weeks after our birthday, so that was my last night of drinking. Because then you went on to
of
like
course, yeah.
just in case the contractions
Yeah,
start, sort of thing. So
Oh, yeah, of
that was
course
my
you
last.
did.
I think
Really?
we went for an Indian, didn't we? We went
Yeah,
to
yeah, no, you're right,
whatever
mate,
it
yeah.
was, Maharaja or one of those.
And I was in it
great
one
local
in
places.
Fundersley, wasn't it? That one.
Is that not that? Oh,
Tandoori Parlour.
Tandoori Parlour.
excuse
There
me.
you
It was,
go.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Good night.
Yeah, man.
Good night, and then that was it.
Football's-
Late nights and early mornings and very little sleep.
Yeah, that
Doesn't sound a lot like dissimilar to now. But just the smell of shit everywhere I went for the next year and a half.
I've got a few things about the football team, but I was thinking about saving
we roll
it for
that into sports?
I'll save it for next year, actually.
Oh, okay.
Because there's some characters to talk about, isn't there? So
It all
it'll
rolls into
roll
next
into
year
that.
as well.
So,
Yeah. Wow, hell of a year.
Yeah.
All downhill from 30, wasn't it? Hair started falling out, guts started getting bigger.
Yeah, it was pretty much, wasn't it? It was pretty much.
Still, if you haven't hit 30 yet, listeners, don't worry, it's not all bad.
Shh. Phil's audio diary. Morning, Blankers. It's the 24th of February today. I'm tired, so tired today. It's been about 50 days I've been doing this now for. You know, you kind of wish you hadn't committed to something. I read a fact the other day that average New Year's resolution lasts 21 days. So I'm kind of proud of myself that I've gone past that, but I'm also thinking how much longer I've got to do it. Anyway, it's a nice day. It's nice, quite a nice sunny day today, actually. So, yeah, heads up and stay safe, Blankers.
Should we talk about what was making the news around the world? In
Yeah, hit me,
2008?
Britney, hit me.
Hit me, Britney. Let's go to Mr. Philip Reynolds first, our ace reporter from 2008. So what you got, Phil?
Well, I've got 2 bits because I
Two breaking bits of information.
I didn't. I was rushing the research. I know I left the news till last.
no.
So I'm going
Don't
to do my 2
disappoint.
bits before you
Don't
get.
shortchange the
Don't
listeners.
disappoint the listeners.
So-
He really puts the effort in, guys, honestly.
Barack Obama.
What about him?
44th president of the USA.
Oh, okay.
Was he
Really?
now? Now, bizarrely, didn't come up in
you
my
didn't get that?
research. I didn't
Wow,
get
there
that
you
one.
go.
Thank God you were here. And what's the second
Save
one?
the day.
Was the financial crisis just deepens around
just
the world?
deepened,
It
didn't
hit
it?
us
Yeah.
by then, didn't it? This is where it kind of...
It had. So it started
Yeah,
in
that's
America with the subprime market, and then we all got a bit screwed over.
Really? I can't remember that.
I wrote down the government found £500 billion to bail out all the banks and the. All the rest of it. 500 billion you can just find like that.
It still went as fucked up as it is today, is it?
It was worse
was
back
bad.
then. It was
Oh,
like,
really?
It was on the
Okay.
verge of collapse.
I remember.
Do you remember when National? No, was it Northern Rock was bought out
Northern
and
Rock,
stuff and all of that?
Yeah.
It was like proper whole banks. There was people queuing around the block to get their money out
That's
of the banks.
right,
They
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
have any.
I remember we
proper
was quite seriously looking at emigrating to Australia this
Seriously?
year. Yeah, I remember this year. Like,
What,
we did-
because of all that?
No,
Or
like
as a coincidence.
was having quite serious conversations, looking
What,
into it, and then
what, as in, what, you and your family or us
Yeah, no.
podcast?
yeah,
Not for you.
let's do it somewhere
We're gonna be
sunny.
Australia's 13th most favourite retro.
No, like me, Claire, and obviously it was only Casey then, but we was quite serious, and
Properly
then
into discussions.
that happened, and we were just like, oh well,
That's bugger that.
that's that
Yeah.
then, because literally, obviously,
No one's got any savings anymore.
No, he just blew out. It was probably a blessing
So
in
did you, how
disguise.
close did you get then?
Not close, but it was a few months discussion. We looked at houses, like areas of where to.
Wow.
It was quite like whether we'd have done it. We was always like, I was.
Not 100% almost.
No, because I was always like, I don't like flying. So once we go, we're there.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not,
it,
I'm not
isn't it?
coming
Yeah.
back every.
Yeah.
Well, so you'd
it's-
literally thought that'd be the
That's
last
it, yeah.
time
Probably.
you
Last time we see a film.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to be back and forth. I hate flying, so that would have been it. It probably wouldn't have happened, but it was serious. But that
Consideration.
I remember this coming around, and we're just like, well, that's blown that out of the water, and we can't do that.
Bloody hell.
Probably wouldn't have happened anyway. But
It's a
could be
bit of a
things
bombshell in
I
it.
Things
know,
you
it could be
find
like
out
sitting
there.
there with an Aussie accent now.
Wow.
Go on, let's hear it, Phil.
Would have been-
You know you're
No,
good.
I
Come
could be sitting there with an Aussie accent by now.
when you can do the accent. Do it again.
Was that
I
Anthony,
went Scottish then, didn't I?
that Anthony Hopkins?
It was
I thought?
weirdly, there was a slight amount of, I think it was just outside Uzbekistan as well. I think
Yeah,
I heard.
come on,
do,
mate.
do it again for us. Do
Come on,
do
give us a rack off your
Good
mother.
day, mate.
Yeah, put another shrimp on the bar.
Yeah, I'm putting another shrimp on the barbie. Rack off, you airhead.
He finished it
He's
bad.
really good, isn't he?
Yeah,
it
he's
turns
really
out
good.
he has got some
Yeah, I
skills.
could do it when I want to. Yeah.
Turns it on, turns it off. Just like a
Anyway,
tap.
that's my two. That's my
talent
two
tap.
news.
That's worth the wait for the Aussie.
Worth the wait, indeed. Del, what have you got in the news then? Seeing as Phil's all tapped out.
I can give you. Have you?
Del-
you
Del
have
gives
you-
us
I've got-
ABC
Sorry,
news.
you're
It's got the old
So I've
ba-ba-ba-ba.
got the rest of the news, and then we'll go
Yes,
into the
exactly. Yes.
Okay, so I can tell you, loads of old men were murdering young women across the country at different parts of it. There's a lot of mucky,
there?
grim news. Yeah, horrible. Terminal 5 opened at Heathrow Airport.
Oh, really?
Destroying more habitat of the badger. I don't know. I made that bit up.
Oh,
Boris Johnson was elected mayor of London.
Was he
Oh, what little we knew back then.
Oh,
eh?
bobbity, bobbity,
He
bobbity,
just
boo.
seemed like an inoffensive, bumbly old tit.
He did, yeah. He rocked up on Have I Got News for You all the
Yeah,
time.
got
didn't he?
stranded on a zip line, waving flags, didn't they? Oh, the things that twat did, and then screwed the country. So construction began on the Olympic Stadium in East London ahead of the
Yeah.
2012 games.
So when it
4 years to
started, only
go.
4 years.
Yeah,
That's quite a good time, didn't it?
Quite
actually?
brave, isn't it? Because our builders can't build shit in about 4 years, can they? But there we go. Do you remember Russell Brand and Jonathan Ross getting into trouble?
yeah.
Oh, what with
The phone call to Andrew
Was that? Oh,
Sachs.
okay, really?
That was
Yeah,
that
'cause I used to like their Radio 2 show in Saturday mornings, wasn't it? I used to like
And
that.
they phoned him up. So they phoned up an actor that played a Spanish waiter on
Yeah.
40 Towers and just left him all prank phone calls about his granddaughter.
It's great. It's granddad. Wasn't there saying about didn't Russell Brand
Had
actually
sex
have a
with
bit
her, I
of
think.
a
I
or
think that's what
something
it
like-
was. But yeah, and then obviously they got sort of sacked and pushed off the babe and all the rest of it.
I remember the pictures, just them giggling like little kids.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah.
Like,
It was-
40-year-old man just like,
Yeah, it was quite-
giggling about his mate having sex with a 20-year-old
It was.
and then phoning her grandfather to tell her about it. It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah,
Bless him.
it was a bit, but at the same time, it's kind of a bit like, was
Childish hijinks,
Yeah,
and
I
then
think
it all
so,
went a
yeah.
bit bananas, didn't it? Bless him. In other slightly weirder news, MFI collapsed, just like its furniture.
Really? Ooh,
Yeah, after 44 years, bang, gone,
shit.
destroyed.
Well, the Secret Service.
The Secret Service, yeah.
That made also kitchen cupboards as well.
It's a weird dual thing that they had going, isn't it? Yeah, spying and shit furniture.
Yeah, it's got
But they made it work for 44 years, and then it all went wonky. Another victim of the global recession, it
But
seems.
if you go back to the 80s, in all like especially in Russia, a lot of the assassinations have got amazing kitchens.
They do, don't they? They
yeah,
all
so
have a
they've
lovely
like-
shaker-style kitchen.
Yes. And
Yeah.
that's what stood out because
That's what put them all together, yeah.
Yeah, I
Put two
think
and two
so, yeah.
together, lovely kitchen, clearly a spy.
clearly a spy. Yeah.
Clearly a spy.
And a
selling
fire again.
secrets. Yeah. Should we do weird news and come back to sport, or should we do sport and weird news? It's always nice to finish on weird news, isn't it?
Yeah, do sport because I've got with news and records. So you two head to head.
Perfect. So in sport in 2008, I've got Lewis Hamilton becoming the youngest ever Formula One world champ,
Was it really?
Oh, really?
knocking it out of the park and still competing today. Man United win the Premier League, their 10th in 16 years, quite good record. Portsmouth won the FA Cup.
Pompey.
Was that
Pompey.
Redknapp?
They beat Cardiff in the final. What a
what a shit
weird final, yeah. What a
Yeah.
terribly dull final.
Pompey always used to make like their nickname
Hey
is
up,
Pompey.
Pompey, yes.
But it always used to. I don't know why, but it always used to remind me of like some sort of like nickname for anal sex or something.
having pump it
Having
tonight.
Pompey.
Pump it tonight, love. Get the butter.
So I totally gave a Pompey last night. Pompey.
You won't believe it.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just
Harry Redknapp's down in Pompey.
Pompey.
Oh, horrifying thoughts.
Oh, what's the name of his wife again?
Sandra.
Sandra with a strap on.
Sandra, I'm going to manage Pompey. You bloody
Brace
are not.
yourself.
Brace yourself. Bite down on this.
Rosie's watching.
Yeah. Oh, I love my jam roly poly.
He did love a jam roly-poly. That's when it goes wrong, of course.
Yes. Oh.
And in other news, Euro 2008 was held this year, but England didn't qualify, so fuck it. Spain won.
Oh no. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
oh,
never qualified.
Okay, actually, I don't
Spain
know.
won.
Spain.
So yeah, it was
The
nice.
start of their dominance,
Yeah,
wasn't
the
it? Did they
tiki-taka.
win 3 on the trot?
They won that, and then the World Cup, didn't they?
Did
and
they
then
win?
Yeah,
2012
they won the
as well?
Eurovision Song Contest as
they
well.
did,
Yeah.
and then they won Glamorous Granny and Rear of the Year
Yeah,
as
exactly.
well. So
But did they win 2012? I can't remember.
I don't know.
can't remember.
Definitely won 2010.
Let's not commit to an answer until we're 100%
Yeah, something
sure.
like
There's nothing worse than looking foolish on a podcast, is there?
No.
So do it to yourself, Phil.
Yeah. And then the only other thing I had was obviously the Olympics were that year as well, in China.
Oh, yeah.
Hell of an opening ceremony. Do you remember that? All those drummers and the fireworks and the bird's nests stadium. Lovely.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Lovely stuff. But there was all the usual shit going on. Russians were doping. Team GB were winning weird posh sports.
Yeah.
And Chris Hoy had enormous thighs.
He has, yeah, the Hoy.
Enormous thighs.
Do you have a nickname, Chris Hoy?
Enormous thighs. That's what they called him.
Thunderfight.
Thunder thighs, yeah. That is pretty much a whistle-stop tour of 2008.
Oh, love it.
It's good. That's good.
But I think we need some more weird news, if we could.
Oh, we've gone slower today.
Yeah, it must be sad news.
Yeah.
Must be
It's
sad
like the end of
news.
Neighbours
Well, you
when
know
someone
what?
died.
Yeah, Bouncer's dead.
A little bit sad, actually. If I was to say tree man to you, would that mean anything to you?
Like a environmental protester or something.
No.
No, isn't this...
Oh, is this the guy with the skin that's...
Yeah,
Yes.
I remember this being on Channel 5. And
BD.
Of course it
Yeah.
Bubble Man. He hung around with Bubble Man as well.
Bubble
He
Man.
hung around with Bubble Man. Fuck off.
They weren't terrible superheroes.
I know,
There was
exactly.
Bubble Man, there was Soapy Woman. Yeah, he had like skin that just thickened and went really hard and like,
Yeah,
bark-like,
he had.
didn't it?
It's called Didi Kozwara from Indonesia, and ironically enough, he was a carpenter.
If you'd have said a lumberjack, that would have been better.
He had a rare disease that caused human papillomavirus, which sorry, I can't even. He had cinemas growing.
He had Pearl and Dean.
He's turning into a cinema. So yeah, he had this thing, which
it looks
basically
horrible.
makes warts grow on his skin that resembles tree bark. And then, well, I was just thinking all of the things to be like a fucking carpenter.
I mean, that is unfortunate, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like.
I mean, I suppose the only other thing would be if he had a plane. That would have been...
Yeah,
quite,
that would
wouldn't
be,
it?
yeah.
That would have worked.
Oh, carpenter.
That's all I've got.
Yeah, go. I don't know
We're
that.
all thinking of really shit puns.
Yeah, I was just
trees
trying to
and bark
think.
and stuff, yeah.
What's the equivalent of like if you? I don't know. Like if you're growing out of bricks, what would you? being in demolition? No, because if you're a carpenter, would you be tempted to saw
your own arm off to get in case you're
to spite your face?
But you're saying like when people get dangerous, they'd have to put plastic knives and forks in. In case they commit suicide. You saying they had to do that with him? He had that plastic plane.
I think so.
They took all of his saws away just in case he was tempted to chop his own arms off to make a coffee table.
Yeah, like say if he stayed up like really late one night and then he just like he
made chess pieces out of his.
Yeah, he was so tired he actually confused his arm with a bit of wood. Yeah.
Maybe he was going to do that, but he shelved the idea.
Next day, Mrs. Kawara is playing checkmate in her husband.
Yeah, what is that? Load of dust and sawdust for the hamster's cage.
Well, yeah, definitely.
He's lost his toes.
I forgot about that.
Oh, we shouldn't mock the afflicted.
No, we won't.
Poor old love.
We won't mock them. So we move on to the Italian model that planned to sell her virginity for €1 million.
Oh, I remember this.
This is crazy.
Yeah, she like auctioned herself somewhere, didn't she?
Yeah, it's like a different type of lottery, isn't it? And also,
I do remember this. Was she 16 or?
17 actually. And her family stepped in when basically critics were saying she wasn't as sweet as like she made out.
She's already a bit of a rotter. Oh,
yeah. So that was a bit.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
She's hardly sweet, offering herself up to anyone.
I love the fact that her family stepped in, like just fucking don't let her do it in the first place.
Yeah.
It's a bit like
after a while.
Yeah,
she's not as sweet as you think she is.
Yeah.
Of course she ain't. She just offered herself up.
She's offering her virginity up, yeah.
It's like a really shit, creepy version of Indecent Proposal, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. What was the winning bid? Do you know the winning bids? If it got that far, like £38.50. So it's like horrific.
Sold.
Yeah, and the family steps in. That is nowhere near enough. No, we're going to go again. Relist, repost. It was on eBay.
£1.1 million.
Yeah. So, and in euros as well, because the exchange rate was terrible, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit.
She's selling herself short, I think.
Yeah, it's not great, man, at all. This one is. Did you hear? You heard about the other two? Did you hear about the man who had
this
sex?
Sounds like the start of a shit joke.
No, seriously. Did you hear about? Yeah, it does.
Did you hear about?
Did you hear about the man? But did you hear about the man that had sex with over 1,000 cars?
I did. I remember seeing the photograph of him on his knees in like a field, just. Going at the exhaust pipe and stuff. Yeah.
Yes, who looks like Mr. Tumble, doesn't he?
He looks exactly like Mr.
And you're telling me he didn't put himself forward for the model either?
Well, maybe the new Sierra Cosworth.
You don't think he had £1 million?
Or whatever the fuck car. That's a shit car, isn't it? Someone who knows cars is going to come up with a better name than that. But he's called Edward Smith, and he suffers with mecrophilia.
Okay, so it's
not necrophilia,
attracted to mechanicized.
And he lived with his girlfriend, Joe. His girlfriend.
His girlfriend.
His girlfriend.
Was she aware of that? Brum?
It was a white Volkswagen Beetle.
There it is.
Named Vanilla.
Oh, that's
like
nice.
Such a cute name, is it?
That is cute.
However, he said most of his most. This is brilliant. I love this bit. He said that his most intense sexual experience was while making love to the helicopter from Airwolf.
What, with the theme tune as well? I mean, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah. Whether this will come to a shock to you or not, he didn't have a human girlfriend for 12 years. So he hadn't had 12 years since he's obviously banging cars. So
imagine so he did eventually get a girlfriend. Imagine being the first girlfriend you go out like.
What? How closely did she resemble a car then? If he had to wean himself off.
Yeah, that's a bit.
Yeah.
She was the size of a Mini or something. Who knows?
Yeah, it's got to have some. Maybe she was the sort of lady, one of these ladies that end up marrying serial killers in jail and stuff.
Yeah, possibly.
That's the territory.
So do you reckon he weaned himself off with like Top Gear or something? It's like gateway to the real world again.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
got to
banging one out of a Clarkson.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it? Oh man, car commercials coming on.
Yeah. Kazoo, yeah, you can.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, cool. We buy any car?
I bet you do. Yeah.
Well, imagine
not that one. Ted Smith's bit of it.
Well, say it's like round his mum's for a family meal, and like a car commercial comes on. Is he going to get a boner? He's he's going to
I'll just stay here for a bit, Mum. It's all right.
I'm
not getting up.
Right. Next
what a strange world we live in.
Right. The next one, Bozo in the Buff. Can you guess anything by Bozo in the Bus? Bozo in the Buff. Sorry, not in the bus.
Bozo sounds a bit like a clown or something.
Yeah, you're in the territory. So this was the headline from the paper, but it's 16 graduates from a clown school in San Francisco decided to do a naked calendar for charity.
16?
Yeah, so it was only 12 months.
16.
Well, you could have
Maybe-
more than...
may- maybe December you got like a
I'm
group
guessing you could
one.
have more clowns in each...
Yeah,
It's not like they've just decided to add another 4
Little
months.
red noses and little red.
But this is probably the most fucked up out of all of them, I find. I'll let you decide.
So was that the end of that story about the clown?
Yeah. Sorry,
right,
yeah,
okay.
sorry.
Sometimes less is more, Phil. Sometimes less is
Yeah, and he went off to I don't know write
Graduate
a best-selling children's novel. I don't know.
he's not allowed to do children's parties
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah, exactly.
Why?
This I find this the most disturbing out of all of them, even though it isn't as bad, but it's who that does it. Well, depends on what you define as bad. So you two be the judges.
Right, okay.
Vladimir Klitschko,
As in the
former
boxer?
world boxing champion,
Yeah.
used to wrap his hands in his son's urine-infused nappies to reduce the swellings from his hands after fights.
So he's got big puffed up hands after boxing.
Yeah.
He used to put his son's dirty nappies.
Wrap 'em round
Because
his-
it was seen as like some
The ammonia, whatever it
Ukrainian
is,
like
used to shrink down the
famous thing. I find that
That is a bit weird.
I mean-
I'll give him that.
I
That
don't
is
find that as weird as shagging cars.
Yeah.
I don't.
I know
No, you're right. No, I'm saying shagging cars is 100% weird. But putting nappies
Yeah.
on your hands
I would
when
suggest
you're
if-
that high profile, I
If
find that-
Vladimir Klitschko was
Dunno.
found fucking cars, that would be really...
with nappies on his
with
hands.
nappies on his hands. So he didn't... Well, that's probably so he doesn't burn his cock on the exhaust pipe, isn't it?
Tree man
Yeah,
behind him.
dreamer. No. Maybe that's why Vladimir Klitschko used to win so many fights by knockout, because he just had
The
nappies on his hands. No
the
one used to
stench
check
of
his
his-
hands.
yeah.
Just a steaming piss on his hands.
Jesus Christ.
I ain't getting up.
So,
Your son needs to drink more water.
Oh.
Christ, that stinks. That is pretty weird. I'll give you that, though.
Yeah, the very last one, sorry, is still standing.
This is Elton John based, then, surely.
Angel Medina, was found dead upright at a bridge in Puerto Rico. But he was propped up in his mum's living room with, what is it? Oh no, I've got it all mixed up together, sorry.
You don't get
With
this
like
the BBC, do
with
you?
a special embarking. We're talking about treatment again, embalming treatment. So like basically, he had a wake standing up in his mum's house for 3 days. It's like it's just. I thought that's quite weird.
And then did you say they found him on a bridge?
Oh yeah, they don't go into details with that. They found him under bridge. They don't say if he was shot, where he was.
And then when you say he's still standing, what? He's still there?
No. So they took him home.
like it's a statue or
they
something.
embalmed him. They took him home, and then he was in his mum's living room
For 3 days standing up.
3 days standing up.
Dead.
They embalmed him in a special way. So I think all
Be like the Han Solo in Free.
yeah, a little.
Can't
It
be
would be a bit, but a little bit was fucked up. Anyway, do you want to hit some records?
Most people just have like a lamp in the corner of the room, but
Yeah, maybe they
Mum's
maybe
got
they
like
put it on
his-
him.
the dead kid just held up in.
Yeah, it is a bit odd.
Yeah, that's a strange one.
Strange one. So let's move on to
Strange
some.
but true.
Let's move on to some records. Then.
Yeah, I like
Oh,
that.
speaking of strange,
So
here we go.
head to head, Jimmy versus Phil again.
Yes.
Right. So I think
I'm on a bit of a roll.
Phil's losing in the series. For
Yeah, I
one.
don't think I've won one yet.
I think I've done all right.
Okay, right. So because
I'm not sure if that speaks back
because you're
to me or
losing
not.
in the series, I'll let you go first.
Yeah.
Or do you want to go second? I'll let you choose. Actually, Phil.
He always goes.
No, I'll go
second.
first.
You sure?
Yeah,
Okay.
might
right.
change his luck up.
Yeah.
Right. The world's dirtiest man, Anu Haji from Iran, dies at 94. How many years did he not wash for?
Ooh, interesting.
And also, you get a bonus point.
How do they know this?
Huh?
How do they know when he last washed?
Well, he died at 96. I'm guessing he told him.
What,
So
when he was
didn't-
dead?
Sorry, he died at 94. No, I guess he told him before because he's like,
I
he's
haven't
obviously
washed
drummed up.
27
I'm guessing-
years.
I'm-
Okay, anyway,
Drops
that
I'm
doesn't
guessing
matter.
anyway,
I'm just
so-
being pedantic.
You ruined the moment, Phil. You get also. You also.
So I
So
reckon,
what's the bonus point
Okay.
for?
I reckon
the bonus
21 was when he
you
last
missed out on the
washed.
bonus point.
Hold on, Phil. Hold on, Phil. Hold
go
your
on.
horses.
So you get a bonus point if you can tell me how he used to cut his hair.
All right. So it's how many years he didn't wash for,
Didn't wash for. Yeah.
and how he used to cut his hair.
So I'm going for 21 was the last time. So that's 73 years he hasn't washed for.
Oh, so he last washed at 21
Yeah.
years of age, right?
Yeah.
So you got
Okay.
70.
73
So I'm looking for the
years.
years he hasn't washed
73.
for.
73 years.
So you went 73. Okay.
How did he wash his, or how did he cut
his hair?
Interesting.
So we're talking, what, in the 1930s? He used to cut his hair.
How did he, that's a strange one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll give you a clue.
Oh no, he needs something, don't we? Yeah.
If you walked into a barber's or hairdresser's, you wouldn't get it. They'll just tell you to fuck off.
Okay, so some weird ass way of doing it.
Yeah, I was guessing it was going to be...
So in the meantime, I'm going to say.
Setting it alight, I don't know.
Right,
Okay,
is that
so
what you're going
he
for?
burns it
Yeah,
off in
burns-
73 years. I'm going to say 86 years he didn't wash for, Del.
Okay.
And I'm going to say he used to get rats to eat it off.
Both very good.
Thank you.
answers.
We've worked hard on this.
Philip Reynolds,
Don't tell me he's got it bang on.
70 for his guess.
70 years he didn't wash for.
And the bonus point, how did he cut his hair? He burnt it.
Oh
Really?
my days.
You got it right, mate.
He's got a 2-pointer.
Ooh,
Smashed it out the bloody park.
there you go. So, right.
That was kind of just run out of time. Nah, fucking
Impressive.
Right, number 2. Can Jimmy pull it back?
I hope so.
What are the most Rubik's Cubes solved on a skateboard?
So the guy or girl is skateboarding around solving Rubik's Cubes. In how long?
It didn't say, but it's just it was
Nice.
till they either fell off or they stopped or whatever.
Did they start? The question is, did they start holding one arm full of Rubik's Cubes and they slowly did them one-handed and tossed them arrogantly as they
Well, you can do
skateboarded around?
if you're decent at it, you can do them
They're
in
seconds,
under a
aren't
minute,
they?
can't you?
Yeah. So I'm going to say, I don't know, it feels like it's. Is it in a minute or is it for forever and a day?
I think we need.
So-
the time scale would have been.
I'm going to say. In that
I think
case,
it's till
he's
he
just
I think it's till he
continually
stopped.
going.
Yeah, he's kept going. Yeah.
So I'm going to say 262.
262.
So if we're going to he's going for world record of some kind. I'm saying more than that. 3. No, I'll better stay safe on that. 270.
270. Okay.
It's thousands. It's going to be thousands, isn't it? Yeah.
500.
Yeah,
So you-
I was going to say he's going.
It's just plucking a number out.
Yeah.
It's the unknown, isn't it? We need context,
Was you-
Richard. This is tricky.
So do you feel gets the point again? You was
Yeah,
like,
so
does.
3-0 up.
It does.
3-0.
I'm going to say it now.
Well,
bullshit. This is bullshit.
there's 3 questions left.
Okay, I can do this. I can tie it.
So you can do.
All right,
so
here we go.
tell me,
Here we go.
Jimmy and Phil, what were the most eggs ever balanced on the back of someone's hand?
Mr. Reynolds, you're in this one. Eggs.
Are we talking mini eggs or normal eggs?
I'm guessing.
I'm
eggs.
guessing it's normal eggs. No, it's normal eggs.
back of
And it's
your
from the guy was called Ibrahim Sadiq.
Oh, interesting. Here goes.
So you
Phil.
you could make a little pile up if you do it properly.
Yeah, and
couldn't
then
you?
pyramid it.
Yeah.
Look at Phil. I mean, it's literally like watching Carol Vorderman kind of calculate 268 divided by
I'm
37.
going to say 13.
That's it, okay.
Oh, interesting. I'm going to say more than that then. I'm going to go... Oh, common sense tells you to go one more, doesn't it? 14.
14. Jimmy takes it. 18.
Yes,
eggs.
please.
18 eggs. What the... How fucking big was this?
So you've got to start with like a 6 or 8
Yeah.
layer, haven't you? On
Yeah.
He must
Yeah,
have some
he's-
big old fucking
big old
pan
hands, man.
wasn't he?
Right.
Well done, Abraham.
Okay, let's get back in the game with some sensible
3-1.
stuff.
Come on, Jimbo.
What's the furthest...
All to play for.
What's the farthest distance, that's a pea has ever been blown?
A pea that has been blown.
Is this like from
This is-
like a pen, like,
And
or
it's
like
in-
on the table, like a...
Yeah. Was it a downhill table? Because then that could be like miles, couldn't it?
don't know, all fantastic questions, but it's not going to help you. It's David...
I feel like I'm being lured in there.
David
I've got
Rush.
the
David Rush.
impossible ones,
The
and you're just going to go the other
answer
way,
is
yeah.
in feet.
The answer is in blown.
Feet and inches, just in
It
case.
makes you think, is it in the mouth and it's kind of spat? Do you know what I mean? Rather than...
Yeah, like, I'm thinking of like a big pen reader.
Yeah, exactly. In feet.
From a pea shooter, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I mean,
say-
that could
because they're
be.
very light, aren't they? But then does it count rolling? Does it not?
I'm
It's all
loving
the
this
unknowns.
in-depth conversation about peas.
I mean, I shouldn't
You
give
guys
this
are really
much of a
getting your
shit.
teeth.
I really shouldn't give this much of a
Desperate
shit.
to win, though.
But I'm 3-1 down. And there's 2 points left up for grabs. I'm going to say, oh, fucking hell. It could either be, say, ludicrous, like 200 feet, or it could be like 8 feet, couldn't it?
Yeah, I don't
And
know.
whatever I'd say, you're just going to go.
I don't know. Yeah, but I don't know.
I'm going to say, I don't know, 32 feet.
32 feet, okay.
I'm literally just plucking a number out of the air.
Yeah,
aren't
you've
I?
gone for a good number where I don't know how to go more or less than I think I'm going to go less. I'm going to go 30 feet.
I mean, if it's 31,
Phil.
I'll be living.
Yeah.
You should have made it easy peasy on yourself.
Oh, punning.
Oh, exactly. It's terrible, isn't it? 84 feet.
Oh, 3-2.
11.28 inches.
Jesus wept. The fact that they're getting...
Right.
Once you get past 80 feet, I don't think you need to do the decimal point, do you?
So this is a pressure cooker one. This is the final answer. So Jimmy has to get this to draw. And I haven't got enough questions, so it'll have to
This
be
is
a draw.
it.
It'll
Shit
be a
or
draw.
bust. Well, let's make this worth 2 points then, so it makes sense.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. You ready for that, Phil? You happy with
See
that?
if I win first.
Oh, pressure on, Phil.
Right. What was the longest journey ever made by a man paddling in a pumpkin boat?
I mean, as questions go,
What's
that
it
is
in
magic.
what's the measurement?
It's in miles.
In miles.
A pumpkin.
Dwayne Hanson.
So is it
Up
before
the
he falls out,
Missouri
it
River.
sinks, or is
Missouri,
it like before
Missouri.
the boat kind of disintegrates? He's going down a river.
Yeah,
in a
basically,
pumpkin
yeah.
boat,
That's what it was before it fell
and it's
apart.
in miles.
I'm
It's in
going
miles down the Missouri
44 miles.
Oh, that's an interesting amount
Yeah.
because that's not unachievable.
No.
Oh, Reynolds, that's a marker. I like that. 44 miles down a big river in America, but it is quite a way. Oh man, you're a pain.
That's a good one, isn't it?
That is a great
would've
question,
did it.
Dale.
I would've
I'm going to
did
go. Fuck it, to hell with that. I'm going to go more. I'm going to go higher. I'm going to go higher, Richard. Do I have to say a number? More than 44?
Yeah, go on.
45 then.
45. Oh, Jimmy, you let yourself down on the last one.
What was it?
Phil takes it with 37.50 miles.
Not bad. That was a bad guess. Not a
There
bad
you
guess
go.
at all.
Boom. There is all the records.
That is
signed,
weird.
sealed.
I needed one. I did need one.
Delivered to you.
To be fair, I don't feel bad about losing now because you were pretty close with a couple of those guesses. So
Yeah, there's some good
hats
ones
off,
in there,
hats
actually.
off. Hearty handshakes all round.
Yeah, it was good.
Good questions, Dale. Good questions.
Cheers, boys. Thank you very much.
Afternoon, Blankers. It's the 26th of February. Got a pod coming up this week, 3rd of March, Friday. Take a listen to this one. We're going all political. Yeah, we've got a local councillor on the pod. Going to talk all things potholes. So yeah, that's going to be fun. If you've got any pothole stories, then send them in to info@40justblank.com. We'll be happy to share them. Speak soon.
Okay, chaps, I reckon we move on to TV from 2008. What say you? Shall we? Okay, I'll start you off with a couple of interesting things. Neighbours moved from BBC to Channel 5 after 22
really?
glorious
Yeah.
years until its recent demise. But obviously it's just been picked back up again, I think.
Is it
hasn't
really?
Yeah, I think like an online
Yeah, isn't it
streaming.
Amazon or something like that?
Freevee, is it? That's
Oh, is
the
it?
free... The ad-funded Amazon thing, isn't it? I think they've picked it up because there was such a clamour.
So
to
what
get it
we're
back on
saying
the
is
air.
that classic last one wasn't really the last one.
It was the last one on terrestrial television, but now you can find
Are they
it.
getting all the original people back? Or are they going to start
Yeah, I think
fresh?
so. I mean, what are they going to do now? They've been
Yeah.
typecast to fuck, haven't they? It's like, what's Paul Daniels going to do? Stephen Dennis.
Yeah, exactly,
He can't
yeah.
move on and reinvent himself, can he?
He's not going to hit the tennis circuit, is he?
He's not with that one leg.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so that was big moves in the terrestrial game, and then Grange Hill ended after 30 years.
Yeah, I've got that, yeah.
Sad times.
Yeah, sad.
Was
yeah.
it them? Was that what it was?
There's a few kind of like big anniversaries. So that was after 30 years. Blue Peter turned 50
Oh, did
in
it really?
2008 and continues
still
to
going?
go. Yeah.
Is it really?
Still keeps going. And Richard and Judy
I can't believe
finished.
kids actually find it's still entertaining, if I'm honest.
I think it's more almost like so my kids don't watch it. I know that for sure, but it's like they always do. Every now and again, they used to do like a big. They used to train with the SAS, or they'd go up with
right,
the
yeah.
the red arrows and shit, didn't they?
So it's a bit more
but now
interesting.
it's a bit more high octane, I think.
Yeah.
And occasionally they do like a weird how to make a fucking candle out of
Still
a boot and some shoe polish or something weird. But yeah, it's a weird old show, but it keeps on going. Keeps on going.
Fair play.
What else can I tell you? This might lead on to an impression, which
Oh, okay.
I'm always a
Yeah,
big
do
fan
it.
of the potential.
Do it, man.
Not me, master of mimicry, Phil Reynolds. Look,
yes.
he's looking intently.
Mastered the Aussie.
So, well, quite. So Sir Trevor McDonald stepped down as news anchor at News at 10.
To do, isn't it?
Can you do a passable Trevor McDonald?
This is the news at 10 from Trevor McDonald.
I tell you what, that's
not
almost
too bad.
Winston Churchill, isn't it?
And Sean Connery.
I've had a fabulous time.
But yeah, he moved over. There we go. Jeff Stelling and Rachel Riley take over the two main roles on Countdown.
Really that long ago?
2008. I mean, obviously
Yeah.
Stelling only lasted a couple of years, didn't he? But
Yeah.
Riley's still there.
They loved him though, didn't they, while he was there?
Yeah.
Yeah, who does it now? I saw it
It's,
recently. And
Pat Sharp.
it was someone like... It
What's
was
the
quite...
Irish chap? Black hair.
Pat Sharp.
Oh, man alive.
Was it a comedian? Was he a comedian?
No. Oh, it'll come back to us.
Yeah, I saw it like the other week and I was like, is he doing it now?
Yeah, if we do this, leave space to insert name here.
Yeah.
We'll remember it. We will remember it. And then talking of taking over, Graham Norton took over from Terry Wogan as host of Eurovision.
Oh,
back
right,
in
yeah.
2008.
Yeah, he did a good job.
I used to like Terry Wogan though. That was so funny.
It's just once you kind of got a bit older and you went, he was just getting arseholed
Yeah, he was
over hours and hours.
Taking the piss out of everyone.
And
To be
taking
fair,
the
Graham
piss.
Norton does a good job as well.
He does, yeah.
He just needed someone to follow it on, just taking the piss out
Exactly
of everyone,
that.
didn't it, coming on?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, no, fair play to him.
So that's a few from me. What have we got, gentlemen?
I've got a few, actually.
Oh.
The greatest TV show of all time, actually. Breaking Bad started 2008.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it's amazing, yeah.
It is great. I mean, I was late
amazing.
to it.
Oh, yeah, so was I. I didn't watch it 2008. I probably I think about series 4 I got into it.
Okay.
Binge watched it all and then had to wait for the last series 5.
To roll up.
What a show.
It is a fabulous show. isn't it?
Absolutely
Yeah.
amazing. It took me a few goes getting into it, actually. I had to persevere with it. I remember watching it once and I was like, I'm not enjoying this. Went back to, and I think I went back to it again, couldn't do it. And I think someone bought me it for a birthday present, like a 3-disc thing. So I felt I had to watch it.
Yeah,
I thought, I've got to watch it.
got to give this a go.
And then, I was like hooked. I was like, wow. And what a show.
Is and Better Call Saul any good? I haven't seen the sort of follow-up
I've watched
thing
only
to it.
series 1. Everyone rates it. Again, I think it's might persevere because
Slow
everyone says
burner.
it's brilliant.
Yeah,
Even
exactly.
better. Some people say it's better than Breaking Bad.
Oh, really?
But
I love Breaking
series
Bad.
1 was I don't know. It was good, but it wasn't there. But whether it gets better or not,
I haven't been able to find a series that has actually topped Breaking Bad since it's come
nor
out.
have I.
So
Yeah.
for me personally, it's
no, I'm
brilliant.
the same. The writing was,
Really, really good.
and then when you trace it back, it's as if they did, but they knew where they were going from series 1.
Yeah,
Like you get episodes where they just tail off and you go, they run out of ideas. They don't know where they're going.
Yeah,
This
they're making this
didn't.
up as they go along almost,
It was
yeah.
just like we know where this is going to go.
Yeah.
and you can even pinpoint the last series pinpoints back to the first
Yeah,
series.
the
It's that
call-outs and-
clever. It was amazing. So yeah, that started 2008.
Great show.
One I didn't really like, but I know it was a big one. Was Sons of Anarchy also started.
Oh, okay.
I could
Yeah.
never get into
No,
that.
it
Sons of
wasn't one for
Anarchy. True Blood. I liked that first
Yeah, it
2,
was kind of
3
bizarre,
series,
wasn't it? Yeah.
and then it
Yeah.
went all
All a
rubbish.
bit, yeah.
Like that again. That's another rubbish. Just ran out of ideas and.
It's a classic. It's because
yeah,
they push it from like series to series and recommission, don't they? It's like-
Yeah.
So they never quite know if they're going to get into the story or not.
Yeah.
Tricky.
Between Two Ferns with Zach.
Oh, I love
That
this.
is
Galifianakis.
I love
amazing.
it.
That's
Yeah,
great
it's
program.
brilliant. So
He
good.
just interviews famous people and just rips them,
rips
doesn't
them,
he?
yeah.
And the feature film itself.
Yeah,
is
the
really
film's
good.
good
It's
as well,
really
yeah.
funny.
Yeah. But
Really,
that was
really
good. I've got a couple more, but I'll let you go on. You go, Dill. I can come back if we don't mention them.
Yeah, for some reason, Lily Allen had a sitcom.
She had like a
talk show.
Talk show, didn't she?
Lily
Yeah,
Allen
yeah.
and Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sense and Sensibility was made into a series.
Was it?
Yeah.
I mean, I never saw the films.
Controversially, Leslie Ash took over, got the role for the remake Steptoe in Steptoe and Son. Ashes to Ashes.
Say that again.
That is absolute horseshit. Yeah, as he's saying it, I'm like, someone's going to step in and question this.
Oh no, sorry. Leslie Ash was she got a £5 million
She got a
court
payout,
settlement.
didn't she?
Yeah,
She got
'cause she got
infected or a dodgy.
She got a bug which led to
Yeah.
paralysis, I think.
That's right.
So yeah, sorry, you can say I got the two mixed up.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
Ashes to Ashes, Mad Men. started.
Ashes
But,
to Ashes
I
as
think
well,
we talked about that last week. Dexter.
Yeah, Ashes to Ashes was the sequel to Life on Mars. Wasn't it?
That's right.
I do want to sort of Ross Kemp in Afghanistan. Afghanistan. I don't know why I said it like that, in Afghanistan. But he just, it's kind of where I got a bit of respect for him, because I don't, not like, he was Grant, then he did that SAS thing. But then he actually, fair play to him, he actually went in the war zone.
Yeah, he was
bullets were flying over his head.
There's one clip of him I remember where he's got like he wears the blue helmet because he's press, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he's like, fucking hell. He's properly terrified, isn't he?
You can hear it zipping over his head. Yeah, so fair play to him. That's
he was properly
just
in it.
to get a show done, that's
taking
balls,
commitment.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
This filth, the Mary Whitehouse story, it was... it's a documentary, or maybe it wasn't, I don't know.
I think it was. I think it was all about her and the way her and her cronies properly took offence to
to the whole anything. Yeah, there was the proper...
Yeah,
they got a lot of stuff taken off, didn't they? And the other thing
they held a lot of power, considering they were just busybodies.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. It's just any other country in the world was just you wouldn't have that shit.
Exactly.
It's just
off you go, ladies. And they were like, no, let's take them seriously.
Like now, Mr. Men Show, which I love.
You can't just gloss over that. The Mr. Men Show, which I love.
I love, anything Mr. Funny, Mr. Silly, Mr. Uppity, Mr. Clumsy, Mr.
Do you reckon
Impossible.
Mr. Tickle's allowable these days? Has he been banned yet?
Yeah, I think you probably wouldn't have a few, actually.
Yeah, reaching through someone's house and giving them a tickle
a
bit.
It's not a bit gropey. You're right, mate.
Bit gropey.
Mr. Right Wing as well. Mr. Sexist Pig.
Mr. Know-It-All.
Mr. Know-It-All,
Mr. Tumble.
80s song as well, didn't he, Mr. Alan Carr's Celebrity Ding Dong. And
that was actually called that, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it was.
It sounds like a word you've just gone, I can't remember. Ding Dong.
Ding Dong. Ding Dong. Yeah,
Alan Carr's.
It's a bit of a game show mixed in with some stuff. And
they just tried to find vehicles.
The main one, I'll leave you to talk about it, Jim, because I love it, and I guess you do as well.
I think we know it.
Is it Snog, Marry, Avoid? On 3?
100%.
That's what I had down as the big finish. What's that one, Mr. Dello?
The In-Betweeners.
The In-Betweeners started there. So good. I mean, it's just juvenile nonsense, isn't it? But it was just
you relate to it, though, don't you? Especially like the school. When he's in the school, and he just
I mean, there was always the one that was like the new kid always got picked on, because why not? Because you've already formed your friendships, and he's trying to break in. It was like, oh man, poor sod. It's just so quotable, isn't it? Because everyone knows a Jay, everyone knows a Neil. Everyone knows a Simon. It's like,
Jay's hilarious.
Pick it out. Just briefcase wanker. Straight in.
Yeah, all the lines.
And then that will stick with you forever, because it's like nicknames that we got at school still stand to this day. And stuff. So it's so good. Some of the scenes are just frightening, aren't they? Like,
what a punching of the fish.
That's literally the one I was going to say. Punching a fish to death on a boat trip when they're somewhere. Trying to find the horny old lady that works in the ice cream shop. On a school trip, do you want to lick of my ice cream? It's like, no, this is all just nonsense.
When he sits on his hand as well.
To make it go limp. But it's just so many types of wrong. Caravan club and the offensive dads, because everyone knew someone that had a dad that was really kind of grim and in your face. And
Neil's dad as well, they
always take the piss out of his mum as well, because they all fancy it.
That's right.
It's like the axe wound and mum's axe wound.
Can everyone stop talking about my mother's vagina? But if you had to, if you had all those stupid conversations, if you had to shag your mum, would you? We're asking this again, are we?
Yeah, no, it's great.
Have
you watched it with either George or Casey?
No. I
imagine,
tried with Casey. I don't think she really.
It's only because
I think it's a bit more blokey than it is girl-based. But I reckon he's seen. Whenever we mention sort of shows that we think he's just getting to the right age to watch, he's like, oh yeah, I know about that. Because they've either seen it on like YouTube or TikTok, one of the like little clips and stuff,
of course.
And they build up a bank of what they've seen already. So he sort of smirks along with different quotes that we might make between me and Jen, and he's like, and he gets it already. So, sod.
No,
you can't stop him, can you? It's like it's everywhere, isn't it?
No, I just because of he's in high school, isn't he? So,
absolutely. I mean, the film's never quite resonated as much
No,
as
the film.
They're all right.
They were stretched, weren't they?
Yeah.
They were stretching the same
They're all right.
Joe record,
Maybe
not
could have
Joe.
done
They weren't the
another
worst
series.
of them
No.
kind of things. There's been like some. They're probably the best of
The first one where they
films,
go on
weren't
holiday, because it reminds you of the first
don't
lads' holiday that
think
you
a
go on.
TV movie, especially British anyway, I don't think a TV movie has ever worked. I can't think of one.
The only one I quite like is Alpha Papa. That was
Alpha
quite
Papa
good.
It's okay, but
Yeah,
it's
that was
still
quite good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to throw out Kevin and Perry Go Large with Eyeball Paul.
Oh, really?
It's terrible, isn't it? I can't watch it. I mean, I can watch it, but it's bad.
Yeah.
It's really bad, but most of it's a bit drossy in it. But that was an amazing show. I used to love that, and
Yes.
I still catch repeats now and just go, yeah, I'm going to watch
Yeah,
it.
watch
Yeah, I
it,
can
yeah.
watch it. Yeah, it is good. It is good.
So good, so good. Anything else that we want to end? Or
I've
should
got
we...
2 more shows.
Oh, thank
Go on.
goodness!
Relating to my Aussie thing was Kath and Kim.
Oh yeah,
They started this year. That's good. I like that.
yeah.
And this is, I come across this earlier. I've never seen it, but I have to mention it, and it's something I'm going to watch.
Is it Hole in the Wall?
No. It's 2 Girls, 1 Cup, the show.
Sorry.
So this is based on the...
I fear this may need to
This is
all
based
be
on
obliterated
this
from
is
here on.
based on the infamous video, the
which
internet
we should
video.
not describe under any
And
circumstances.
it's the stories of Schultz, which follows the adventures of a couple living with 2 girls in Sherman Oaks. Now, I've never heard it, never seen it, but I might have to check
You
it out.
don't want to Google that, though, for fear of what might actually
What's
start
gonna
to
come
be
up.
returned. Yeah.
But yeah, 2 Girls, 1 Cup, the show.
So it was the adventures of the cup itself,
Yeah.
from his perspective.
Apparently,
kind
so.
of
I
thing.
don't know, but
How bizarre.
I was like, what the?
Do you know what? I'm
There you
going
go.
to leave you with that because, it's weird. And I wish you good luck. And when the police knock on your door, we'll explain what happens. Well, that is a pretty conclusive roundup of telly, and I liked it a lot.
Afternoon, Blinkers. 27th of February today. Been at work, nothing much to talk about. What? Sorry, 1 second, just gonna. Someone at the door. 1 second.
So, chaps, I think we need to talk about the films of 2008, don't you? It's the old 3, 2, 1s, as I'm calling it.
1.
And then we can natter about any honourable mentions that didn't quite make the grade. So, time-honoured tradition. Philip Reynolds, the floor is yours. What's your number 3, old bean?
Okay, number 3. This was a late entry tonight, actually.
Tonight?
It was. I watched this
It had
this
to happen in
week.
2008. What are you talking about?
I watched this film this week again, just to remind myself. I remember liking it at the time, but it was good. And that's In Bruges.
Yes, this is my number 2.
Yeah, it's such
So
a good
good.
film.
So
such a
good.
good
I forgot
film.
about In Bruges. That
Yeah.
didn't come
Just
up
because the
on
whole
any-
the current one is like
Yeah,
the
have you watched
follow-up,
that?
if you like. I haven't yet.
I watched it. It's good. It's bizarre.
Yeah,
Is that Colin Farrell?
that's Colin Farrell,
Yeah.
Brendan Gleeson.
Brendan Gleeson.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah,
it was
the
good, yeah.
It's
Insurance
an amazing film.
No,
yeah.
the Banshees
of
of
Inisherin.
Yeah.
But this one is obviously
I remember enjoying it. I can't remember it for the life of me what it's about.
it's essentially they're 2 hitmen.
Yeah,
aren't they?
2
It
hitmen
goes- A hit goes wrong.
Yeah.
and is it Colin Farrell's first job, isn't it? And it goes a bit.
I don't know if you find out it's his first job, but basically you don't see it. It does it in flashback, but it just starts with them in Bruges. And the funny thing is, he just hates. Colin Farrell's like, this is a shithole kind of thing.
Awful
blah, blah,
town.
blah.
I don't want to see any of it. But it's sort of like a travel log at certain points.
Yeah.
Because Brendan Gleeson's character is talking his way.
Yeah, but he loves it. He's like,
around
oh
the
yeah,
city and
he's
stuff.
he's older, and he's like, oh, this is a lovely village. It's not a shithole. But basically, they're hiding out because Colin Farrell done a hit that went wrong, where he ended up killing a boy accidentally.
Oh, right,
okay.
So they've got to go to Bruges to keep their heads low. And then it turns out that they're actually going there to. The other guy's got to kill Colin Farrell because he
to sort of clean up the mess.
and it's who's
Ralph Fiennes.
Ralph Fiennes is the
boss.
bad guy. He's really good at it, and he's
He's
the
like
boss.
an
who's-
unhinged lunatic boss.
he's a bit like Ben Kingsley in Sexy Beast.
I've written exactly that
Exactly
down.
that. He reminds you of that. He's like playing that kind of
really?
like role.
Yeah.
And he tells Gleeson to kill Colin Farrell, but he doesn't do it, and then he has to come out to Bruges. And,
okay.
But he's
watch it again.
They both end up essentially hiding from Harry, the boss.
Oh, okay.
So then it's that kind of chase caper.
Is it on any platforms?
I think it's on Netflix.
I think it might be on Netflix. Yeah, it's really funny, and it's about them. They're shooting they're shooting a film in Bruges with like a midget.
That's right.
And they all get pissed and
they all end up on the set and stuff with them. It's because he then falls in love with one of the. Is she a runner or a producer of the film?
Yeah.
And
it's a really good film.
It's just the whole thing between Farrell and Gleeson. It's kind of similar to like Jules and Vincent from Pulp Fiction. You know, there's a lot of banter and a lot of comedic to and fro between them.
And the really new one's similar to that. It's a weird film. I wouldn't say it's as good as in Bruges, but I do like that. It's a very good film.
It's weird. It's very for a hitman film. It's quite warm. And sort of there's a nice feeling about it afterwards.
They're not nasty hit, but they're just normal guys, aren't they?
Just doing their job. It just so happens their job is bumping people off. It's a really good film. You should definitely watch it again.
Okay, I will do. Yeah.
My number 2. I watched this again. I fucking love this film. This could have easily been my number 1. It nearly was, but I just thought I went for change. It's Step Brothers.
You went with Step Brothers for 2.
Yeah,
this is my number 1.
It was close. It could have easily been number 1. I watched it the other.
It's so good.
I watched a couple of comedies this year, and I wasn't impressed with them. And then Step Brothers was just way above all of them. I was just like, this is amazing. It's so quotable. It's and. I'd actually like to know how much of it was improv of them just talking.
When you think it's Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly.
I bet a lot of it is just stuff they come out with.
You can tell some of it's
even
the last bit, even the very last line in the film. I think it's and it's okay. My mask's not movie quality, or my Chewbacca mask's not. I can't remember. It's okay. Because there's a big long pause, and he like lifts it up, and it's almost you can see him like almost thinking. And I was thinking that the other day, it must be.
It's so. The lines. Will Ferrell in this. This is my favourite Will Ferrell film. I think.
Yeah,
he's done some good ones.
But this one
he's top level.
The bit where he's just sitting in the back of the car and he's, I'm not going to call him Dad. And he just goes, even if there's a fire.
It's the extras, isn't it?
And then that bit where they're in the room and they find out they're best friends because they say the same things together.
3, 2, 1.
And then they go, did we just become best friends? He goes, and he goes, should we go and do karate in the garage? It's just like, fuck you know.
They burst into like the mum and the 2 newlyweds essentially, and it's like, can we build bunk beds?
Oh, the bunk bed scene is brilliant.
What are you doing?
Well, I love that. They wait for ages for them to get a yes. It's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. They're proper kids.
Yeah,
it's so funny. He like I say,
even
I was cracking up watching it.
Even the bit with was his psychologist that he likes. Then she's like saying how, like basically she's not interested and all that, and then he just turns around and goes, "What poem's that from?" And he like quotes some famous.
And Adam Scott, who's the brother.
I was going to say Adam
he's
Scott.
funny when they're doing the singing in the back.
Sweet Child of Mine.
Yeah. He's that's funny themselves, isn't it?
Just poking his head up into like the treehouse when they're both having a evening.
He shows his abs.
Yeah, it's so many types of stupid that all of these actors shouldn't be doing.
That boats and hose,
and he gets his balls out on his drum set as well, doesn't he?
Oh, and the Catalina wine mixer.
It's so stupid. It's like it's a helicopter leasing company. It's just some of the most ridiculous.
Well, I love Derek's wife in it as well. She plays the witch in Wonderland.
Yes.
WandaVision.
Catherine something or other. I forget her surname. She's amazing because she's like permanently sexed up lunatic.
I hate my life now.
Having angry sex with him and stuff, and just sobbing.
And when she talks about rolling him up and putting it inside my vagina.
It's
so quotable. I mean, it was brilliant. And it could have easily been number 1.
Yeah.
But
what kind of a film is keeping that genius off the number 1 spot?
It's The Dark Knight. It is The Dark Knight, yeah.
Absolute baloney, young man.
It was again. It's one of. If it was a comedy, it would have been. I think it's because I went super bad last year for a comedy. I thought I'm going to just do it a bit different,
mix it up.
And The Dark Knight, I think
it's a great
Chris
film.
mentioned it in the last one. It was the first superhero film that treated you like an adult. Where it wasn't really. It was a superhero film, but it was a crime. It was a crime film that just happened to have a superhero in it.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
how I always remember
Yeah,
seeing it.
that's a
It
good
was the
way of
first of that type. I remember watching it thinking, this could be just like a Scorsese film.
Yeah.
It just happens to have Batman.
Yeah.
The guy
in
just
it.
happens to wear a mask
Yeah,
and have a
it was-
fancy coat.
Yeah.
It was brilliant, and the performances were great, and obviously Heath Ledger was
was amazing.
And it was. I don't think, like I think we said it again last week. I don't think there's been a better superhero film.
No, I
than
think
that.
it's up there. Yeah.
Because it isn't. It's not a typical superhero film.
Yes, yeah. I don't think you can ever
Yeah, you
quote
don't-
it as that.
No,
It's a great
it-
action
yeah.
film, isn't it? Or crime film.
Yeah, he's brilliant, and that, like I say, I could have easily swapped them around, but I just wanted
Depends
to.
on your mood, I suppose.
Yeah.
As well. So it's they're very disparate and different films, but both quality examples of what
Definitely.
they are.
But so I went for the Dark Knight.
That is a good three. That is a
I think
good
it's
three,
good
Richie D, any similarities for you? Or
Yes. So Step Brothers is my number 2. I did have Dark Knight as my number 2, but I tried watching it today. I liked it, but I found it quite sort of. I think I'm just sick and tired of superhero films. That's it. I like it, but I just,
maybe 2008 Richie was a bit more
might be
all over it, but
yeah, I think so, mate.
Looking
It
back,
would have been looking back. I would have 100%. I loved it when it came out, and I still do. But I just got to the point of I can't watch another superhero. film. That's all it was, and I got to the
that's
point.
fair enough. We can't criticise you for that. So what replaced?
So Marley and Me. I just told you my number 3. So number 2 was Step Brothers. So,
Right.
but that was higher. But I've switched it all around. But my number 3 is Marley and Me. I think it's just down to the fact of being like having a Labrador, and it's a sweet story anyway.
Yeah.
It's quite. But it touches on like quite dramatic roles. There's a miscarriage in there. There's quite some.
My
heavy...
daughter's reading the book at the minute.
Oh,
It's
is
like,
she really?
Well, that's quite a punchy tone. Which, when you think about it, it's like it's about a dog. But
Yeah, it's about a
it covers
dog,
some-
and
it covers some ground, doesn't
And
it?
it also deals with the dog bereavement. And also, I've bawled my eyes out once on a train
You'd
going
be
to London.
inhuman if you didn't tell.
No, but I forgot. You know, when you get invested in a movie, and I bawled my eyes out like watching it on my phone or whatever I had at the time.
Yeah.
And then just people. This was on a Monday morning, and people must have thought
He's
I was,
going through some
like,
shit.
Fucking hell, this guy's having
Yeah.
a breakdown.
He's having
It's
a come
there's
down, isn't he, on a
and you know, you just
train
like
journey.
like sobbing, like
Yeah.
uncontrollably.
Proper shoulder rollers. Yeah.
Well, the other time was about sort of 3 years ago when we got Max. I remember like sort of thinking it'd be all right to watch with Frankie. And again, I'd forgot because it had been a long time. I knew it was coming, but I didn't realise how sort of powerful the final bit is. And I made that poor my poor son, just weep uncontrollably.
watch this
so
film.
much so it was so late at night it woke him up. He went downstairs, was cuddling Max uncontrollably. I was in floods of tears. We were both in floods of tears, and it was just as lovely as it is.
Yeah.
But I've got so much connection emotionally to it, and dogs mean so much to me anyway. But it's the people. It's so much what it comes around with. I love Owen Wilson anyway, and it's just Jennifer Aniston's great as well. So and you've got the guy from who plays, I think the journalist. I think he runs the paper. He's the granddad from Little Miss Sunshine.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah,
Alan
so
Arkin.
he's
his name,
Alan Arkin.
Alan Arkin.
Yeah, that's right, and I like him. So again, it's like again, I could have swapped another film. There's a couple of like really good films that's got on the thingy.
I can like save some embarrassment for Frankie if he listens to this older and like knows mates, because obviously Ashton and Frankie. Like,
Yes.
But I did the same thing. I watched it
did you?
with Ashton, and again he was the same.
What uncontrolled?
Just,
yeah.
I've never seen him cry so much. You know, to the point where I was.
You feel like such a
it's like,
shit.
Well, no, I was actually.
This is a real lesson for me. This is awkward.
He was like. He was in my favourite. I think it's before we got Harvey.
Oh,
I was going to say,
And he was-
you're both like lab owners, aren't you?
Yeah,
Essentially, so it's
so-
like,
You're
this
my
is-
favourite
You've
dog.
basically
And he
made
was-
very small children of yours watch a film about a dead lab when you've got a lab.
I felt awful. I did feel awful.
I mean, I'm coming out smelling the roses here right now.
But
I haven't made my kids watch anything horrific.
by my number
yet.
one,
Go on, number one.
So Marley and Me is 3, Step Brothers is 2.
and my number one, which I watched the other day, and I forgot what a great film it is Gran Torino with Clint Eastwood. There's so many layers to it. You've got race, deals with race. It deals with family, and it deals with friends, and it's just like Clint Eastwood's, he basically starts off, his wife's died.
He's the racist old man, isn't he?
Yeah,
In the Navy.
Vietnam vet.
He was in Korean War.
Korea.
And
that's it.
there's an Asian family that live next door who aren't Korean, but he's kind of tarnishing them.
He's seen them through exactly the same lens
brush,
type thing,
kind of misjudges them as
That's
well.
right.
Their whole, again, their values and their traditions. He gets it confused with other things.
Yeah.
So the things like not looking people in the eye. It's actually
he sees it
offensive
as
what he's
disrespect,
looking for.
but, yeah.
And again, it's just understanding your neighbour and different
Yes.
things like that.
Yeah,
But
100%.
again, it's the friendship and what's occurred, and it's his actual real family don't give a shit about him, and they're always after stuff from him.
Yes.
There, and
It's
he's
purely-
just a grumpy, but he still
purely
has
taken.
value, so he's still likable, even though he's like this racist old guy, but he's just uneducated and a bit lost.
Yeah, he needs guidance.
Yeah, and it takes the family next door, and
You say he ends up doesn't he end up like sticking up for one of them, or doesn't he get bullied or something the next door neighbour, and he steps in or something?
yeah, he steps in because he steps in at first because they're on his property, and the youngest son. The gang, there's a big sort of like Asian gang that wants to get him because they're his cousin involved in the gang, and he's kind of caught between them, so they're putting pressure on him and stuff.
That's right.
He kind of doesn't want to get out, but yeah, it's kind of like it's a bit. So you can make comparisons to like Harry Brown.
I was going to say Harry Brown come out about a year later, didn't it? Because that was all it's a
they're
British
different.
version
They are
of
different films, but
Gran Torino.
yeah, no, I forgot.
Yeah.
But it's like if you haven't watched it in a while, I'd probably watch it again because
Watch it with the
Yeah, I
kids.
think I wanted to actually. Yeah,
Watch it
but
with
I
the
never
kids.
got round to watching. That was one of the ones I was like, I haven't seen it for a while. I might watch it
Yeah.
again, but I never got a chance to. So
Again, I forgot the ending, and the endings wasn't what I thought it was. What I thought I remembered, and it caught me out again.
Okay.
I mean, this is when he was on a roll this decade.
Did he direct this one as well?
He did this, done $1 Million Baby, Mystic
That's right.
River.
Mystic River, yes.
He was like on a right roll.
Yeah.
This
It's all
time. It was
dark as hell, like, but
Yeah.
but this is actually there's more to
He's
this.
like in
This
his
is-
80s.
Yeah.
like.
in his 80s.
Maybe we should have
But this
reached
is
out
quite
to Clint
uplifting.
Eastwood.
Is he
all right,
still?
Clint?
Is he still alive?
Yeah,
he's still going.
He's got to be 90 or now.
Easily.
He's got to be, hasn't he?
The
He
only-
still might be doing films. I'm not sure, but
The only thing that sort of takes the shine off this movie is he sings the theme tune at the
that's
end.
right.
well, like Minder.
Yeah, Dennis Hawthorne.
I could
goes,
be so good for you.
Gran Torino, Gran Torino.
Yeah, he should never do that again. should
Yes,
he?
he.
Bless him.
But yeah, so he sings it with another guy. And it's not to the other guy. Voice comes in and it like it's
lifts it a
actually,
bit.
it's not too bad. But yeah, so that's my top three. So over to you, Jimmy.
My number one is Step Brothers. My number two is In Bruges, and we've covered both of those already. So
I
my
think I
number
know what your
three,
three is going to be.
I can tell you it's a slight step change from both of those.
Yeah, I could have a guess.
It's-
Yeah, I think.
If I say animated,
Yes,
I know
this
we all
was
know,
this
don't we?
nearly made my three, I think, as well.
It's Wall-E.
Yeah.
And I love this film.
Yeah, this was nearly my number
So
three, I must
good.
admit.
It's just the sweetest film going, isn't it? It's like
It's clever as well. And
It's a year after Ratatouille, and that
Yeah.
was in my three as well, and I found that brilliant. And
Yeah.
Pixar were just like bang, 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 bang. Every year there was another little masterpiece, but it's just a really sweet love story essentially, and also a science fiction epic,
Yeah.
all rolled into one. It's like
Yeah.
the first half hour, there's just no
Dialogue,
words.
I
It's-
don't think, no.
the only thing is like the Hello Dolly film that the little robot is
Yes.
watching at the end of
Yeah.
Civilization. He's there to clean up our shit.
Yeah, that's
and you're
right.
like, 20 years later, we're still fucking the
Still
world
doing it.
up.
Yeah, and everyone's all
so-
gone to space. They're all fat. and
They're all
they-
just they're just going round and round in the spaceship
Yeah.
looking for a planet or waiting for the planet
Yeah.
to be cleaned up by this poor little
little
fucking
thing.
robot who's all lonely, and he's watching all these old films about love and companionship, and that's all he wants. And then this sort of killer robot
forgot.
comes in to his little world, tries to shoot him, and he falls instantly in love.
Yeah, no, he's
like-
great. Yeah, nearly made my
Did
three.
he get
I must
Oscar
admit.
nominated as well?
I'm sure it probably did
Yeah.
for like sound and
But I think
various
for
others,
actually
but
for a film.
I
for-
don't know if it
or
did.
something. Oh, okay.
I mean, there were a lot of very good films out, but
Yeah, I wish I'd
it
watched
probably
it.
deserves it.
I just
but
didn't
it's-
get around to watching it again. And
My
it's-
kids aren't as keen on this as they are on the more obvious
No,
films.
my Claire hates
But
it,
this
and I
is
don't
brilliant.
think any of the kids watch it. But I
find
love
this-
Wally.
I find this lovely.
I remember
think it's a bit
watching
more
it.
of a
I think
thinking
everyone
film.
fell asleep, and I was just like watching it, and I was like, "Wow, it's amazing."
I suppose it's because there's no real stuff in the first half. If you're not gripped in
Yeah,
that,
no, I
but
loved
it's the
it.
same as the following year. I think is Up.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's silent for the first sort of 10 minutes or so.
Well,
Not
now,
silent, but like,
that's going to be high up on my list.
I mean, I've
fucking
already told you
Yeah.
that without doubt, that's in the
I
three.
love that. That's my favourite
But-
Pixar film.
Yeah, they know what they're doing, don't they? They know
Yeah,
how to
I've
grab
seen-
you
it's
these
great,
lot. So, yeah, that was my three. So, Wally
Lovely.
at 3.
No, it's great, man.
In Bruges at 2 and Step Brothers at 1. But
Yeah, I'm definitely going to watch In Bruges and Wall-E again.
yeah, really, really good. Were there other ones that didn't make it for you? Lots?
Yeah, I've got quite a lot, actually.
I've got quite a few as well.
Got The Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
Oh, really? That was it. Oh, I missed that one.
indeed.
Yeah, that was there. Iron Man obviously started off all the Marvel stuff.
Yeah. Should be recognised.
I did watch Tropic Thunder again. I didn't get into it. I must admit.
I know you've mentioned it in other passing.
Yeah,
sort of things,
I
haven't
must
you?
admit, I tried to watch it again. I didn't get enough time. I tell you what, I did love the adverts.
Yeah, the
At
beginning.
of the
Yeah,
show.
I like that.
At the beginning of the film.
films.
Yeah,
their
yeah.
films are all in.
Yeah.
They're all in, yeah.
I mean, it starts off all right, but I must admit, after about an hour, I got bored. I must admit, I was like, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Don't remember not liking
I'd
it
watched
or
Step
not
Brothers, I
watching
think, the night before, and I was like, oh, no, that's
it. Yeah,
way
it's
better.
tricky to
And I think
hold
I
a
just-
candle against, isn't it?
Yeah, so I don't know. I was a bit disappointed with that. I had Wally.
Yeah.
The Happening, one of the worst films ever. M. Night. Have you ever seen it?
It
like
sounds
M. Night.
like it's going to be a horror of
Yeah, well,
some
it's
form.
M.
not gonna
Night
be something I watch.
Shyamalan, whatever his name is.
Shyamalan,
And it's basically the wind killing
I
people.
don't know.
It's the wind. It's a Mark Wahlberg.
The Wind?
Yeah,
As in-
it's fucking awful. But you have to watch it to see how bad it is.
I don't think I do. Just from
No.
that description, I'm out.
Bad. I've got a few more, but I'll let you guys say some.
Richie Diz?
I watched actually £7 and really that almost made it in.
yeah.
That was nice. That was nice.
That was nice. That was a nice moment.
That was nice. No, it was a good film. I forgot again, like because I hadn't seen it in a while. I forgot a lot about it, but that was quite good. It's the twists.
You're a little Will Smith fan, aren't you?
Yeah,
Did you
yeah,
have the
yeah.
Pursuit
You know
of
what?
Happiness?
Pursuit of
or something?
Happiness.
Yeah, I didn't realise how much I like. But again,
Did you like that one with his boy he did when they were stuck on the space island, whatever that was called?
Oh, what Space Boy?
Space Boy Island.
Space Boy. But no, that was quite good. But again, based around about all the nice things he does because
Yeah.
of like a fucked up mistake that he made. He tries
Okay.
basically he tries to
What was the one where he was like a bum space or superhero?
Oh, Hancock.
Hancock.
Yeah,
That was this year, wasn't it, as well, I think?
I just watched that for Charlize Theron, but I wasn't.
I was expecting it to be Tony Hancock, but
Tony.
but he doesn't do anything. Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to watch was Let the Right One In. Was that any good?
Okay.
Yeah, that's what Chris mentioned that last. That was that Swedish horror, isn't it?
Okay.
The vampire one. That's a very good film.
They
Yeah.
come up in romance on my search, but
Well, it is. Well, I suppose there is a romance in it, but I wouldn't
Right.
class it as a romance.
It's a slightly bigger genre than Swedish vampire,
yes.
I suppose, yeah. There's
Our
not
last
many
one, and
that
then I
fall
go
into
over to you, Jim. Was Role Models. I really enjoyed that.
that was my literal one that just popped
There's a lot
up.
of them comedies around.
Yeah, Sean William Scott,
yeah.
Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd's brilliant
Paul
in
Rudd
most things.
and obviously McLovin. Whoever.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
right,
Chris
yeah,
Fleming's
yeah.
Place. and
Again,
then
he plays-
Jane, whatever her chops is in it as well. She's
Yes,
in all of those
she's
kind
always
of
good,
improv
isn't
things.
she? Yeah.
She's very, very good. But I don't know her surname. So, yeah, I had that down. I had Juno down, Son of Rambo. I don't know if you ever watched that.
Oh yeah,
Which I really
that was
liked.
with Will. What's his name? The guy with the eyebrows.
Will Poulter.
Yeah, that's it,
And,
yeah.
Guy with the eyebrow.
Yeah, he's got like really
Everyone's got eyebrows.
big eyebrows. No, he's got really.
Big bad boy ones.
Yeah, that was
Big-
good. That film, wasn't
It
it?
was really good. Yeah, really liked it. Kung Fu Panda was this year.
Yeah.
And then like Horton Hears a Who as well, which I think that might be up your street as well. Richie
Was
D.
it?
Horton Hears a Who. It's another one of the Dr. Zeus
Yeah.
efforts.
Oh, okay, yeah. the Lorax as well. That was out.
Yeah, you're right. There was another Will Ferrell vehicle this year as well, which was Semi-Pro, which was nowhere near as good as Step
No,
Brothers.
but
It's the one about the basketball.
yes,
and
there
stuff.
is one thing I really love from that film is where he gives him the giant check. And he says, "Oh yeah," he goes, "Oh, it doesn't cash." He's going, "No, you got to take it to the giant check bank." It's just
It's
like-
just stupidity, isn't it?
yeah, that's
But-
the only thing I remember.
Yeah, I really like that. Obviously, I make a nod to sort of Dark Knight. I had a couple more. Pineapple Express, which is that kind of Seth Rogen and all the rest
Yeah,
of
I
James
quite
Franco.
like it. It was fun.
I quite
It wasn't-
liked that one over some of the other ones that all
Yeah.
feature the same mob. Forgetting Sarah Marshall, which is a bit wanky and a bit, but occasionally funny. But Be Kind Rewind was in my list, which is
Oh,
the one
yeah, I
where
remember that. Jack Black and
they
that.
run a video
Oh,
store.
yeah, so,
they
yeah.
lose all of their stock and
Yeah,
they have to
make all the
remake
film.
all of the films.
That's
Yeah, that was
right,
quite...
Which is quite funny. It's a nice,
Yeah, I remember
nice
quite
premise
liking
for a
that.
film
Yeah.
and stuff. I quite liked it.
Quite a little indie film, wasn't
Yes,
it? It was,
under the radar, quite small, but
Yeah.
I really liked it.
Well, that's what made me laugh with Jack
worth a
Black.
watch.
When they do when Tropic Thunder at the beginning, when they do the adverts for the film, he does like a piss take or like the
the
clumps,
flumps,
the clumps, or
the clumps, yeah, like Eddie Murphy things.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's called it the fatties or something like that. Like, it's right, yeah.
yeah, that was funny. Oh, you mentioned Son of Rambo, but what about Daddy Rambo? Because Rambo was re-released.
There was that was his first. I mean, he was like 109 years of age. Wasn't
And this
he? But
was
still,
I remember this was brutal.
was this the one when he rips out someone's either spinal cord or?
Yeah, and he like gets one of them
Something
like
like
machine
that,
guns on the thing. And he literally point blank just shoots someone's head off.
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
really violent and brutal. I remember
Yeah.
that coming out. The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was a fun film.
That's a really good film. I like that film.
So depressing.
I do, yeah, it is, but I like it.
It is a good film. Indiana Jones returned. The
Yeah.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Shouldn't have fucking bothered.
No, Hurt Locker.
Because there's another one out this year, isn't there? Another Indiana Jones.
Yeah, they've
Jesus.
de-aged him, haven't they?
Oh, thank
Yeah.
Christ, because he didn't look good in the in that one, did he?
Indiana Jones and
That's what they're doing.
a last hip replacement.
That's what they're doing with all the films now. No, they're going to
Yeah,
de-age them. They're
just
just
take
going
it.
to so these actors are going to go on forever. They're just going to de-age them, and they bring them back to life
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
So these actors, no new actors are going to get
Break
anything.
through,
you know.
yeah.
Yeah. Bronson.
Oh, that's a good film.
This year,
Oh,
yeah.
about Pierce Brosnan's life story.
Yeah.
That's the one about the guy from Grange Hill,
Mr. Bronson.
the headmaster.
No, I've got one here. Crap film, but the video game was amazing. Max Payne.
Oh, yeah, I've got that. Yeah.
Fucking, I love the video game, but the film was awful.
Who played the title
Mark
role?
Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg.
Weren't having a good year this year.
He wasn't, was he?
And
It's no Daddy's 2, is it? Daddy's
No.
Out 2.
the only other one was Eden Lake. I don't know if you've seen this film. This is a good
ring a
little
bell at all.
British horror film. With Michael Fassbender and Kelly Riley, you know, from Yellowstone.
Oh,
The
yes,
daughter.
yeah.
And he's a really good. It comes under horror, but it's more of a thriller. And they're basically a couple on a trip away, and they go to this like cove, a beach cove, and,
Okay.
and these kids are playing loud music, and the husband asks them to turn the music down, and it goes south from there, really.
Right.
And then they just get harassed by these people, and it's just how quickly it can turn. It's quite.
And Spiral. And
Yeah,
just,
because you think, fuck, and it's probably true to like, it's showing like youth of today how like just got no respect, and it just goes really like into this fucking messed up kind of.
Right.
I would say, I suppose it is a horror, but that was
it's
good.
all gone to shit.
Yeah, that's worth a watch. That's a good little thriller film.
What was that, Eden?
Eden Lake.
Eden Lake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it. I think up for mine. Yeah.
Yeah, touch on yours. Richie, all covered? Or
Yeah, last one's Shay Part 1 and Shay Part 2 is like Benito del Toro. He's like basically playing Shay Guevara's life story.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to watch them. I don't know if I could get into
so
them.
they've been
I watched the
covered a few,
Motorcycle Diaries, but I didn't see this, so maybe I should look at it again. And the other one was a piss take on. I think it's a piss take because it's going to Meet the Spartans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so of like obviously,
Yeah, but
was it 300, 500?
the 300,
That's the
yeah.
one.
And yeah, it's all those kind of.
100
It's like
that-
the scary movie ones.
Yes.
That
Yeah,
wasn't
all
quite,
that
isn't
stuff.
it? Yeah. Fair play. There's some good stuff out there this year.
It
wasn't
was
there?
actually, wasn't there? Yeah.
Nice. Nice. I wonder if next year will be any better. We wait to see.
Morning Blankers. Pinch Punch again. God, I can't believe it was the 1st of February this time last month. Can't believe a month's gone by. Yeah, Pinch Punch. I'm doing this again. I can't do this every bloody month, can I? I'll keep this one in, but this will probably be my last Pinch Punch, so I hope it's a good one. Bye.
So, on to music in that case, young fella, my lads. Richie D, we start with you traditionally, so I love tradition, so let's start with you.
Man, I love you.
Thank you.
No, my 3, 2, 1 number 3 is actually this is with all my choices here. And the last couple of years, I've been choosing ones and albums that I've quite liked or really liked, but then they haven't followed up or their other albums haven't been
Oh, okay,
as
yeah, I know what you
good.
mean. Yeah, yeah.
But the choices.
Yeah, we've said this a few times, actually, haven't we? It's like they had a really good first album,
But
and
they
it was
didn't
horse
always-
shit thereafter, yeah.
Or these ones, or some of their albums were better than others, but their third album, but they had growth to them.
Okay.
Well, that's what I felt anyway. So my number 3 is Mystery Jets 21. I don't know if you're aware of it.
Yeah, I quite like the Mystery Chats.
I heard
I know.
them. I didn't like Manchester based, but they're not like I wouldn't say they're like a Oasis.
They're not the
type.
obvious,
Yeah,
yeah.
like,
So is this a debut album?
Manchester. So-
yeah, I think it might have been. It was called 21. I think when I was on Stag Do in Manchester, I heard Two Doors Down, which I really like. It's quite an upbeat, high tempo song, and so I quite liked it. Yeah, do you remember Shazam? Do you remember you used to do Shazam on your
Yeah,
phone?
where you
and
could listen to
2580.
Yeah, that's it, for 30 seconds. And I Shazammed it, and it came with Mystery Jets, and I was like, oh, okay, got on to Amazon, whatever the hell it was back then, ordered the CD, and yeah, no, I really liked it. Young Love, Flakes, Two Doors Down, Half in Love with Elizabeth, Veiled in Grey, MJ, First to Know. But yeah, really lovely, sweet album. It's got a big mixture in there. But yeah, I found that was really good.
Yeah, I remember that. I might have to dig that one out on the old
Yeah, I
streamings.
really liked it. I didn't find actually music a struggle this year. Number 2 is Keen Perfect Symmetry. I actually found this my favourite album out of all of their ones, just because it's a mixture, and I think it was their most critically acclaimed one as well.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So you had Perfect Symmetry. It's like, and it was a bit more upbeat because you know how they could be quite
They
down,
could be
couldn't
quite
they?
dirgy, couldn't they? Yeah.
So they had a lot with Spiraling, Better Than This. The tempo was up, but also the lyrics were a bit more sort of upbeat. They still had the odd one but that's just
You got to
Keen.
play to your strengths, haven't you?
Me and Anything, Lovers Are Losing, You Don't See Me, Again and Again, and Playing Alone. And yeah, again, really sort of really cool, upbeat album, a bit different. But again, I like Keen because of that, because then it's a different spin on it, and I can even now I can go back to Hopes and Fears and
They
still enjoy it.
not reinvent themselves, but there's something different in each of their albums.
to what they
isn't
do.
there?
He's got a new album out right now, hasn't he?
I think
so,
Sort of
yeah.
Tom
2000.
Chapman.
Yeah,
these
sort of
days.
like a.
'Cause he went
looks
through some
completely
shit, didn't
different.
he?
He's like lost loads of weight.
He went through a lot of addiction stuff,
Yeah.
didn't he? He's kind of
Oh,
come out
okay,
the other
yeah, I know
side.
he's a big cokehead at the
Yeah,
time, so
yeah.
Well, I hope he's sort of. Well, it's good that he's sorted himself out.
Big love from Not 40
Of
Just
the
Playing. Tom
cocaine,
Chaplin.
big cocaine.
Yeah,
Get him on the pod.
So,
yeah,
good.
sure. Talk us through it. Talk us through it, Tom.
Number 1 is Cortina's St Jude.
It's my number one as well.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
it's a good
I love these. Again, Manchester. I think they're Manchester type
They
band.
are, yeah.
But yeah, again, bit more term. They've got a mixture of like the scene of Manchester, but also with Smiths.
You know that they've been
and
influenced
that,
by the
yeah.
rest of that kind of scene.
So it's
but yeah,
not
there's a little
just
bit of everything
not
there.
just your normal sort of like your regulars. But favourites: Not 19, Forever, Bide Your Time, After Show, Please Don't, No You Didn't, No You Don't, How Come, Yesterday, Today, Probably Tomorrow. And that's I love these, and I love these because I can go on like this is the Cortinas on Spotify or whatever,
Yeah.
and I can listen to like pretty much all of their songs and
Yes.
some of their newer stuff actually as well.
Because they've just been. I was going to say they've just been announced as one of the headliners of the Teenage Cancer Trust gigs.
Have they?
in the
Oh,
Royal
okay.
Albert Hall. They're very, very good live. I always
Yeah.
like to see them. Not 19 Forever when it's done live is just one of the really good songs that just blows me away.
And I always think, every time I hear it, I always think about the message. You're not 19 forever, as in saying, don't waste your time. You're not 19 forever. Or are you acting too old? You're not 19 forever, as in don't act 19 because you're older than that. I was always like,
Yeah,
but I think it's the first
it's
one.
the former,
yeah,
isn't it? Yeah, just don't waste the opportunities that come your way and stuff.
But yeah,
Don't we bloody know it? Gee.
and also just quite good like storytelling as well. Like for anything from like pillhead girls, goggle-eyed girls, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just getting on his nerves.
Being in the club and
yeah.
stuff and just can't stand what's
getting
going
on.
on around me.
Yeah,
just,
that sort of thing, so.
Out we go again. It's a great album. Really good. It's still on my phone to this day.
Oh,
I
yeah.
still listen to going up to sort of City and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Love it.
I love it. Cool.
Loves it.
There you go, mate. Cool.
Nice. Good. 3, 2, 1. Phil, can you match that?
He's
Tom?
been struggling over the last...
Yeah, I struggled a little
He
bit.
does,
This
doesn't he?
wasn't so bad this year.
Not as much of a struggle. Okay.
So number 3, I have What order do I want to do this? I'm going to go with The Seldom Seen Kid by Elbow.
Elbow, I love this album.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, Grounds for Divorce. I think it's Mirror Ball. I think it's on this one. On One Day Like This, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, Grounds for Divorce. I love that song, Grounds for Divorce. It was out of the Coen Brothers film, wasn't it? Burn After Reading.
Yes.
That was one
yeah,
of
that
the
was
films,
one that-
actually.
Yeah, I don't like that one. I must admit.
No, it just
should
came
be
up-
good. It's got a great cast.
It should be, shouldn't
it?
it?
Wasn't
Yeah, yeah.
that good, that
Yeah.
one. But yeah, this is a good album. I like this one. Elbow. This is probably one I don't know if this was their. I don't think it was their debut album, was it?
No.
But I think this is when they came to the forefront. I liked them. So that one. Then I went number 2. I went Only by the Night, Kings of Leon.
Okay.
Now this is their more. This was the album that made them more radio hitty, didn't it? Because this
We've
had Sex on
mentioned this.
Fire on it.
Oh, really?
It's not a bad album actually. You got Crawl on there.
This didn't come up.
I've got both Elbow and
Use Somebody.
Kings of Leon are both in my honourables, but
Yeah.
you're right. As we've mentioned before, like the first album was kind of gritty, the second one's a bit
Yeah, I like
a bit
them
more
ones.
polished, but then this becomes, as you say, radio.
Yeah, and then I've got bored of them after
Radio
that. I think this
play.
was their last good one. Because although there's Sex on Fire, which made them, the other tracks on it, which aren't, are good.
Yeah.
But then, I'll say Sex on Fire, that was it when it just went out there. And they were a different band after that.
Yeah.
So that's number 2. My number 1, though, they've been away for a while.
Is it Daphne and Celeste?
Yeah, been away for a while. Their last 2 albums didn't make my list, but the boys, well, they're back.
The Rem.
They were back in town.
The Rems?
R.E.M.
Not the Rems.
So Accelerate, this was a completely different sound. Obviously, the last few albums were a bit slow, a bit okay. They were still good songs on them I mentioned before, but this one is fast paced. 34 minutes, 39 seconds.
Is that it?
Bang!
Wallop, have that.
Straight back in there. 11 songs, every 2-3 minutes, and they come in with a bang with Living Well Was the Best Revenge, Hollow Man, Man-Sized Reef, Mr. Richards. It's got some great songs on it, actually. So it's just a hard-hitting kind of, they went back to their roots rock album. Their penultimate album as well. So
I was going to say, it must be close to being...
So yeah, this one and the last one are really good. But yeah, they were good albums, the other 2, but they didn't do it. But then this was back to form.
Back to form.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good. So yeah.
What about you, Jimmy?
Intriguing. Well, we've mentioned my number 1 is the same as yours, Richie D, with the Cortinas and St Jude,
Yes, very
which
nice.
I love. So let me go back in time to my number 3. Slightly different approach from me. Elbow were bubbling under. Kings of Leon were bubbling under. There was an Oasis album out this year, but I didn't rate it. Dig Out Your Soul.
What was this? Their last one?
A last studio album, I think. Yeah. But I went for a slightly different tack. I went for New Zealand's second most favourite folk rock combo. Flight of the Conchords released their album.
Oh, nice.
I didn't see that.
Because they obviously timed to coincide with the show and so
Yes.
on. But I just really like them. They're
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
brilliant, aren't they? So, it was kind of... Another comedy after. So you mentioned, was it Tenacious D the previous year, and it sort of follows on with another
Their songs
comedy.
are actually good.
They're
as
actually
well, yeah.
decent
Yeah,
songs,
yeah.
aren't they? As well, yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got things like Business Time, which I really enjoy. The Most Beautiful Girl in the Room. The Hip Hoppopotamus versus the Rhinoceros.
Oh,
They
yeah,
rap.
that's it, right.
I mean, it's just mental. There's a David Bowie inspired track as well, Bowie in Space.
Oh, yeah.
And it was really well received as well. So it charts at number 3 on the US Billboard chart, and it's number 1 in New Zealand as well. It's
Yeah.
really, really good.
Nice.
All about the two shepherds turned folk duo moving to New York.
Yeah.
Christian Charles in the show as well. It's a very funny show, and it's a very good album.
I didn't know that was out.
coincides
Yeah,
with it.
I like that. Yeah, that would have been good.
So I thought I'd go a slightly different tack. And then in between the Cortinas and Flight of the Conchords is Vampire Weekend.
Yeah, I had that as
Yeah,
I had that as a
Which
fourth. That
I
hopping
quite
around.
like. I was kind of torn between a few, and we've mentioned like the Elbows and the Oasis and blah blah blah. And I was like, there was them, there was MGMT, there was
Yeah.
Fleet Foxes, Friendly Fires. There's a lot of those
Yes.
good little albums,
Oh,
but
yeah,
this
Friendly
one
Fires. Yeah, I like
I really liked out of all of them. It's that kind of kooky, echoey, drum soundy kind of nonsense. They're all short, sweet. So you had songs like Oxford Comma, which is very good. A-Punk, which is probably the one most people know.
That's from Step Brothers, wasn't it?
Quassa.
Well,
Yeah,
A-Punk, wasn't it?
that's exactly that. A nod back to my number one film, A-Punk, part of the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So
Yeah.
it kind of all ties together nicely.
Was it their next album was like Holiday, wasn't it? And,
I believe that is
Yeah.
the case. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So
I don't know. Vampire Weekend, yeah. I liked the Father of the Bride was probably my favourite one theirs. It was just a couple of years ago. I liked that one.
yeah, yeah, it's nice. It was very short. It was very sweet, and it was get out of there. It's similar way to REM, but different sound. So I've mentioned a couple of honourables already. What say you, gentlemen?
had Hot Chip with one of their albums. With one of their albums.
One of
I think Ready for the Floor, there's one of their songs off that I remember.
Yeah.
The Kooks, Conk. I actually quite like this, actually. Shine On, Mr. Maker, Love It All. Do What You Want To, I think it is. See the Sun, and there's another couple on there. So that was quite a decent one. And Nick Cave. Oh, and Noah and the Whale with like 5 years' time.
Noah and the Whale. That was a good
Yeah.
one.
I forgot about that.
I literally
like
played
Noah
that
and the
song.
Whale.
I played that song yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, I was close again, but that was Bubbling Under.
Yeah, I
That's
didn't
it.
see that one. I might have got
I
that.
listened to Fleet Foxes today. I never got round to listening to them.
Yeah.
It was okay.
It was all right. Yeah, there's quite a few of those
That's
debut album things, wasn't there? That was knocking around. Another debut album, actually, Adele with 19.
Oh, really?
This year as well. And she's done all right for herself, and she. Let's be honest.
Yeah, not bad.
For a
Without
girl from
chasing
Tottenham.
pavements, isn't it? Or Jason Pavements.
Jason Pavements and Jason Waterfalls.
Jason Waterfall. Jason Rainbows as well.
Jason Rainbows. The Ting Tings were out this year as well. The less said about them,
yes.
the better. And Gaslight Anthem, which I think you might have mentioned yesterday, the 59 sound.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Good album. Good album as well.
Yeah, I didn't mind Gaslight Anthem, yeah. And I think Cage the Elephant was out this year as well.
Do you know, it was a lot of that, because I put them in with Noah and the Whale, that kind of
Yeah.
grouping of people.
Cool.
But a lot of good stuff, actually, when you look back at it. It's not a bad year. We've struggled before, but this year was all right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Bit of an uptick. in music.
Very good, very good.
And about bloody time, too. We needed it.
Evening blankers. 2nd of March. I've been at work. Oh, God. This is so hard to do this bloody every day, I tell you. I was going to tell you a story about something that happened on the train home today, but it's not even worth talking about, to be fair. That's how boring it is, my life is, and trying to make an audio diary daily is bloody hard. Yeah, we got another pod tomorrow night, so speak soon, bye. Shh. Phil's audio diary.
Okay, chaps, we are rapidly approaching the end of the podcast, but it would be remiss of us if we didn't take a little dip into the letters and emails bag. So here we go. Dipping, and I'm pulling one out. We've got a letter from Winifred West, who lives in the back of Eeyore's mum. She's asking us, if you were on Dragon's Den, what idea would you present? Interesting. A sensible one from one of the listeners. Richie D, you're our ideas guru. What could earn you a bloody fortune? What would Alan Sugar get No, he's not in that one. He's in The Apprentice, isn't he?
Yeah.
What would what's his name? Stephen Bartlett invest in?
So, everyone hates cats.
Correct. Sorry.
Everyone hates cats' bumholes, don't they?
Except other cats.
Yes.
I think. I don't know. I can't speak for all cats.
I'm thinking for people you don't want knocking on your door or ringing your doorbell,
Yeah.
you remove a cat's arsehole
Sure.
and you replace it for the doorbell, so you can switch it over.
So you've got to, if they want you to come to the door, they've got to press
that's the finger a cat's arsehole.
cat's bumhole.
Yeah.
Interesting. We're going to need to start breeding
And
some cats for bumholes specifically,
does
aren't
Duncan still do it? I think he'll invest.
we? Duncan?
Is it Duncan?
Peter Duncan. Duncan Norvell.
Duncan from Blue.
Duncan Blue.
What a Dragon's Den that was. Duncan from Blue, Duncan Norvell, and Peter Duncan all investing money in
It's called Duncan's Den.
Richie D. Fuck me. This is a show we need to get commissioned.
Duncan's Den.
All right, so Duncan's Den. This is the idea for
I was
Dragon's Den.
I was about to say that. That's going to be my idea.
That's your idea.
I'm just gonna go in there and go, I don't want Dragon's Den.
Well, obviously.
So Duncan's Den, Peter Duncan, Duncan from Blue, and Duncan Norvell sit around listening to Del pitch ideas about cat's arsehole door knockers.
Yeah.
I like it.
Ding dong, you have to lift up the tail as well.
Oh, yeah, that would be nice, actually, yeah. Like a classy old kind of style knocker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Lift the tail, finger the bumhole.
Yeah.
Do you want any more milk, Mr. Dello?
Yeah, a little bit.
Lovely stuff.
Maybe they'll spray you.
I quite like, that's what you could do, yeah. Get like one of those water sprayers get shot of them.
Get a little bit of
I like that.
Good work.
It'd be a little bit like putting your finger in a pencil sharpener. I've always thought cats' bumholes are like pencil sharpeners.
They are. I think
Lift the tail, electric one.
they remind me as well. They're bumpy, aren't they? They remind me a bit of. Do you remember at school with someone used to put chewing gum underneath the desk
And it dried really hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like rigidly. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
You always used to stick your finger in them chewing gums.
He did.
Oh, yeah.
He did.
Quite enjoy it.
And
Del was
cat's
quite-
bumholes.
Del was surprised when cat's bumholes didn't smell of like strawberry.
Yeah,
Whipped cream.
Yeah, we can't mention cats again after
Chew
the
it.
last one. That is a lovely, lovely idea, Richie D. Mr. Reynolds.
Well, so he was selling his idea to the Dragon's Den, yeah?
This is it. You've got
Right,
to pitch
so-
something.
Okay, so my idea is to go to the Dragon's Den and tell them they're all gone.
Replaced
We
by
want Duncans in there to make a Duncan's Den because it'll be far better than Dragon's Den.
Sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts,
Yeah,
presumably.
and I'll bring all the three with me.
Yeah.
All the Duncans.
All the Duncans.
I need a fourth Duncan.
Are there any other Duncans?
He's got to be, Duncan Ferguson.
Duncan Ferguson.
Yeah, we'd have Duncan Ferguson.
Jesus,
as-
imagine pitching
yeah,
to him.
Yeah, and they're not going to say no.
No, headbutt.
Yeah, Bannatyne. That was it. Duncan Bannatyne.
Bannatyne,
Duncan
that was the
Goodhue we had, didn't we?
We didn't have
Oh, we
him,
didn't?
but
Oh, okay.
fuck me, Duncan Goodhue. How can you forget?
And all the Duncans dunking with biscuit.
Well, I think we're
Continually.
getting rid of Duncan.
Oh, you're doing Duncan-
because he's all part of the original Dragons. And it's been,
Oh,
now you're
okay.
out of here. We've got a new.
So we've got
lot.
5. So we've got Duncan Goodhue, Duncan Ferguson,
Yeah.
Duncan Norvell, Duncan from Blue, and Peter Duncan.
I love the way none of us know Duncan
What about-
from Blue's surname.
And
Duncan from Blue.
Duncan.
Dunkin' Donuts.
And sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
this is Duncan's
This
Den.
could bloody work.
Duncan's
couldn't it?
Den. Yeah.
If this isn't on BBC Two by, I would suggest the turn of the year, we've done something wrong.
Exactly.
We failed.
We have failed.
The world has failed us,
failed.
is what's happened there. Because if it's not picked up, it's a travesty.
And who's presenting the show? You know they've got that guy with like the wonky eye. We could have. we could have.
Oh, we'll have. Oh no, he's dead. I was thinking of someone else with a wonky eye. You know, someone
He's
with
got to be called Duncan.
Why don't we have a rival?
Well, no, because all the Duncans are there being
Oh,
pitched
yeah,
up. I
yeah,
think
yeah.
Why
we
don't we
need
have
something
Ramesh
different.
Ranganathan? Because he's got.
yeah, that's a good shout.
And him and Russell.
Russell
Grant.
Russell Grant.
No.
Yeah.
Who's the other one? The one from Bristol.
Russell Howard.
Kane?
Russell Howard. He's got a bit of a
yeah.
wonky eye as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, that could
Just
work.
looking at each other across on diagonals.
Talking past each other.
Past each other to a camera over each other's shoulder because they're slightly off centre. That's what we call it. Off centres.
Off centres.
Off-centred
love it.
Duncan's Den.
Den.
Oh, I mean, that's a great pitch.
Yeah.
That wins, in my opinion.
Jimmy, you trying anything else?
I think I might look to go halvesies with Phil on his idea. In a way, I'd like to
You're
work
going to bring 20% into
50-50 with Philip Reynolds. I think. Yeah, it's a great shout though. Good question, Winifred West. Thank you very much. More from you, please. We've got a slightly different, change of tack from Terry Snatcher. She asks, why did kamikaze pilots wear helmets? It's a fair question.
Yeah.
Why? Why not? If you know
gotta
you're
be
going
fashion,
out,
isn't it?
Yeah, if you're going out on your last hurrah,
Yeah.
why stick a helmet on?
It's not really going to. Yeah,
Safety is not
gonna
the
help
issue,
you,
is it? No, absolutely. You hit a battleship at 100 mile an hour.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What would you suggest they wear instead?
It's a bit like seatbelts
Fireworks.
on aeroplanes, though, isn't it? Don't you find that? It's just like
Yeah, if you're 35,000 feet up and you hit a mountain
Yeah.
at 500
Oh, yeah,
mile an hour,
yeah,
like
exactly.
a dart,
Yeah.
you're fucked, aren't you?
yeah.
So, what do you reckon they should wear instead of like chef's hats? Or something?
Well, the kamikaze
Yeah,
pilot.
exactly. Yeah.
I say, yeah, fireworks in a chef's
Oh,
hat.
yeah, I
big
like
chef's
it.
hat, but with fireworks firing out.
Firing out. Yeah, those
Go
Was
out
it
with a
strong
bang.
weapon?
Literally go out with a bang.
It's extra, like an extra weapon, yeah.
I'll just make it like exciting and
Like out the ejector.
like it's a bit like a carnival kind of atmosphere.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to go out,
It's
go
fun.
out happy.
Yeah.
Sure.
Why does suicide have to be sad?
Suicide is painless.
Yes.
We know that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be depressing.
No.
What if all suiciders wore helmets? That'd be
All of them?
Yeah.
Well, they wouldn't be suiciders anymore. They'd be
Yeah.
survivors.
You're not going to get
Jumping off a bridge.
You're not going to get an
Got my
investment
helmet
on
on.
that.
No, but what I'm saying
From
is,
Duncan,
I'm just saying, if all the kamikaze pilots wore a helmet, what if it become a tradition that all like suicide people wore? So like even bombers and that walked around with, like they just
So we
a helmet
know
on
there's-
first.
do you know?
You go,
There's
what's he got a
potential.
helmet for?
There's potential.
He's got a motorbike. Ah, okay.
That could be nice. A little motorbike helmet, though. Just sort of steam up for the last few seconds. What do you reckon then, Mr. Reynolds? What kind of... Any other reasoning behind why they threw a helmet on?
Probably I don't
Fashion.
know. Yeah, just
Presumably. Everyone likes
health and safety, I suppose, wouldn't it?
Health-
Not allowed to.
Health and safety gone mad.
Yeah,
is
not
what it
allowed
is.
to fly the plane unless you're wearing one. I'm guessing.
As soon as they take off, do you reckon they took them off?
Oh,
then?
yeah.
Yeah, straight away.
Long ponytail coming down.
Flowing locks. Flowing locks.
Like Daniel Day-Lewis in the last one.
Oh, that's a lovely little touch. Del, you got any other thoughts on why they might have worn the helmets?
They got really cold ears.
It could be as simple as that.
Yeah.
They're right the way up there. There was no central heating. Chilly
Keep
is.
them warm, yeah. That's it.
Let's go to another question from Holly Shit, living in Phillips Blowfield. She says, who would you rather spend a weekend with?
Bernie.
Okay, you got two. Wasn't one of the two options, but I like where you're going. You've either got Punch and Judy or you've got Richard and Judy. Who are you spending
I don't
off
think
with?
Richard and Judy.
What are you doing with them on the weekend?
It'd have to be Richard and
Yeah,
Ooh.
Punch Judy. Fucking they're scary little bastards. they would get on my nerves.
They love a bit of domestic violence as well, don't they?
Look, so do Richard and Judy, I bet as well.
For clarity and legal disclaimers, we don't know if they actually do.
But Richard Bailey, he's as annoying as he is.
Yeah.
It'd be quite entertaining, I bet.
Oh, Mr.
Well,
Mr.
especially-
Punch.
Nah,
Oh, yeah,
I
Mr.
don't-
Punch has been
Guy's a
entertaining
nutter.
kids.
I've never
got
been a fan of Punch
crocodile.
Judy.
There's a
Why is that?
crocodile,
What,
there's
sausages, crocodile? Yeah,
sausages.
it's
No,
What
just
do
never
you
have
want,
been,
man?
and they would just get on. They would wind me up after a long time.
What, and Richard and Judy wouldn't?
No, I just think, I think Richard Bailey would be annoying, but I reckon he would be
asks
quite
to-
funny as
What
well.
if he takes you to Tesco's and says,
Yeah.
I haven't got any cash with me?
Does his
What
Ali
would I do?
G impression.
Well,
He gets on the thieving again.
Yeah.
Old light-fingered Dicky.
well, it depends, doesn't it? If it's
What
like
happens?
self-checkout tills,
Are you going to turn him in?
depends what we're stealing.
We're stealing now, so you're in.
Oh.
You're in cahoots with Richard
Doing a
Bailey
bank-
now.
He's telling me to. No.
Teething.
What we taking? What did he take?
Wine, wasn't it?
Wine,
Bottles
yeah.
of wine.
I don't know. That's a bit too much.
Because if you go back to the house without
Yeah.
the wine and Richard, 'cause
Judy's
he's been
got
arrested.
a bra on.
I mean, thank God.
Yeah,
Unleash the beasts,
It
Jude.
could be a fun weekend.
Could be.
I reckon. Yeah, I reckon it'd be a bit of fun.
Would you? What about if Judy wants to get you to breastfeed?
Yeah,
Little Philip cuddled up.
I don't think Phil's got the boot
Phil,
for it.
Phil on the right nipple. Richard on the left.
That might be something they get up to. I'd leave them to it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's when I
Probably popped
go
down the
to
pub
Punch
for.
Judy. Then
Yeah, turns out Punch and Judy wasn't
not a bad option.
after all. Yeah, exactly. What about you, Del? Are you Punch and Judy or are you Richard? and Judy?
I'm a traditionist, so I love a bit of domestic violence. Me, so
Love it. Big fan of policemen, crocodiles, and
crocodiles,
sausages.
all that side. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a weird concept, though, isn't it? Punch and Judy.
It is.
Like,
I mean, they were really.
I don't think are they still allowed to do it anymore?
I think they do, don't they?
He surely
reckon
can't
they
be
do.
still allowed to beat. Like
I reckon,
Judy.
yeah, maybe the domestic violence has been taken
Yeah.
down a little bit, but it's all those puppets looked really freaky.
They're freaky,
They were
like horrible,
something
yeah.
way back, wouldn't
Yeah,
they?
it
It's scary.
Rosy
yeah.
red cheeks and scary.
If you imagine
eyes,
if
wouldn't they?
in the morning you woke up next to Mr. Punch, that'd be horrific.
That would be one hell of a story to tell, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
How was your
God.
night? You do not want to know.
No, yeah, God, dear.
Oh, dear Lord above. Well, there you go. Who was that?
Well,
That
the
was-
next time you're having
that
sex
was
with your
Holly
wife,
Shit,
you
yeah.
turn around and she's got Mr. Punch's face.
That's the
Like
way to
in
do it.
mid
Bang. Have
flow.
that.
Yeah. Oh,
Sausage.
have that. Yeah. Bang. Boom.
Oh, yeah, I think I'd probably go Richard and Judy as well, just to be on the safe side, you know. Weird as they are, I think they're the safer of the two options. And I am very much a coward first.
No, dude. No, dude.
Okay, I've got one last question for you, chaps. before we leave the listeners to their day. So, Toby Jug, living on top of the mantelpiece, says, apart from Shire horses, what else do you regularly get distracted by? So, Phil, I think this is very much written with you in mind, because we know that Shire horses blow your mind.
Probably
What
porn.
else? I'm not going to lie, lads.
Pong.
No, what do I get the
Shire horse specific
Well,
or general?
Is this the 2 cups? 2 cups, 1 horse.
What do I get distracted
You're
by?
too Shire.
Shire.
Hush, hush.
Yes. Yeah, are they shy or are they shy?
They
shy,
could be
aren't
both, yeah.
Are they shy in the Shire?
They've got those big long eyelashes. Maybe
They have,
they're
yes.
bashful.
That's
That'd
true.
be nice,
Or-
wouldn't it? Or
I mean, the obvious stuff.
a coquetting horse.
The obvious
I'd love it
answer's
if they
like
were
your-
shy. They'd blush like every time they come out.
The obvious answers like your phone and stuff like that. But the last one I can really think was probably something like Football Manager. I always used to get distracted.
You
by
did
that.
lose weekends,
Yeah.
to maybe months to that.
Even to the point where
nonsense.
I had to stop getting it because
Yeah.
I just knew
That was it.
That was
That was March
months
done.
gone. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll see you lot in April. I've got some business to do.
Yeah, I've got some titles to
Yeah.
win.
You used to be able to spend many an hour just setting the whole thing up, wouldn't it? It was like,
Yeah.
you didn't even get through pre-season, and then it was like, it's time for school. What? I can't believe I haven't slept. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's the one. There's probably other stuff. Like I say, phone is
Yeah.
always a distraction.
Yeah,
and
of
stuff like
course.
that. But
I mean, I've got members of the team in work who sort of book days off when a new Call of Duty or that
Yeah,
sort of comes out,
okay.
'cause they want to
That's a massive distraction,
solidify like 3-4 days solid at
Yeah, of
trying to
course.
take it on. That's dedication.
Dedication's what you need.
If you want to be a radiator. What about you, Dale? What do you get distracted by apart from Shire horses?
Everything. Pretty much.
pretty much.
Everything and anything.
So
No.
anything shiny.
No, to be fair, I get distracted by, as you know, my beef with squirrels. Every time them fuckers come in the garden, I get distracted by squirrels. Yes,
Is that still taking over your like waking life?
it's
or are you a
getting
bit
better,
more-
but every time them fuckers come in, I'm on it. And
you
I
on guard? Like properly on duty?
Yeah, I'm a little bit on edge. And I'm a bit like, not in a fun way, you know, like in Up, the dog goes, squirrel. And it's like,
Yeah,
it's like, fuck, squirrel.
Yeah,
Squirrel.
proper.
Yeah, like,
Do we need to put some form of like neck
Yeah,
brace or
might-
something?
might need to.
Electronic tag neck up there.
a squirrel.
yeah,
Which got a collar on you.
Yeah, so I get really like that and everything else, and like Jimmy,
Yeah, anything shiny.
yeah, shiny, yeah, magpie,
Yeah.
magpie. You, Jimmy?
Yeah, I think so. I'm quite a one for putting shit off. So if I can get distracted, I very
do
much
it.
will. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
very much so. It's like, yeah, you got to do
Oh,
this.
yeah. Can you
got-
lose hours? Like if Jenny said, "Oh, Jim, can you run upstairs and get me?" And then like 2
I'll
hours
run
later,
upstairs and
you're-
then it's like, where the fuck did he go?
Where'd he go? Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
anything will distract me.
That's a
yeah.
big- yeah.
Occasionally it'll be helpful and I'll do something for like the house or.
Oh, okay.
But more often than not, it's just.
You've done like an extra, like an extension.
Yeah, I've knocked out the roof and I'm just slowly retiling it. I can basically just find hours on my phone and just disappear into a little
Yeah, it's
wormhole
easy
of
done, isn't it?
nonsense. Yeah.
yeah, that's scary. Isn't it?
Phone is king of distraction, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very much so, and it very much has hit the next generations as well because we just don't see we see the tops of our children's heads now because they're always looking down at the phone.
Yeah.
What does your face look like, George? Oh, there it is. Well
you go.
done. Thanks. But yeah, now Maisie's gone down the same path, so there we go. But yeah, that is distraction, and I got distracted by thinking about being distracted, which is very distracting in and of itself. I've gone meta. Okay, let's wrap this one up. So that is the end of your trip down letters and emails road. Right, that's that then. 2008 is now consigned to history, and we move on towards the end of the decade. Jesus wept. Great work, gentlemen. Lots of fun as ever. Any final thoughts from you two reprobates, or are we...
No, just
Good coverage, like Dulux.
what's your
Good
favourite
coverage.
cut of beef?
Topside. Topside, yeah. Phil?
Oh,
Dunno.
anything.
I was going to say belly
Beef.
then, but that's pork.
Can I say beef? I like beef. I like the beefy
Do you
belly
like the
beef.
udder? I like the udder.
Yeah.
I love the udder.
Pull the other one. It's got bells on. Oh,
Hey, stop it.
silly sausages.
So next one's the last.
Next one's the last of the decade. Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
Best get revising, eh?
But you're
Yeah.
doing a Yoda impression.
An Australian Yoda? Still there, isn't it? Still got it. So yeah,
Rack off, you bastard.
that is it, folks. Basically, don't forget. Follow us on all the old social nobblers: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. I don't know. Are we on Snapchat? We might be. I don't know. And you can always get in touch with us the old-fashioned way with any questions or comments via the email address, which is Phil.
Info and not 40 just blank.com.
Very good. I thought I might trick you on that.
You did
I
catch
very
me out.
nearly did.
Then. I was like,
We've got an email address, you say? We should check that out occasionally. You can also obviously listen back to all of our previous episodes on all good podcasting sites. But for now, it's bye-bye, Blankers.
Yeah.
Say goodnight, chaps.
see you later.
Good night, chap.